This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello, Halflings! It's me, Jasper William Cartwright, and I am joined today by...
Hi, I'm Aabria Iyengar.
And...
I'm Alicia Marie.
And...
It is I, B. Dave Walters.
Hell yeah! Welcome. Thank you so much for doing this. This is gonna be incredible. I am absolutely thrilled. We are going to be here running a one-shot for all of you folks to celebrate a movie that happens to be coming out, the name of which I probably won't mention, just in case, you know what
Legally
I mean?
distinct.
Legally distinct enough. We are going to be running an adventure in a place called Wakandell, because why risk getting sued by one mega franchise when you can risk getting sued by two? That's how we're doing it out here.
They cancel each other out.
Exactly. That's actually how it works. So why don't we just go ahead, give us the names of your characters. We won't describe them just yet, but give us the names of the characters you're gonna be playing today.
Sweet. I'll be playing Tiwa.
I'm playing Sha'So.
Iṣẹ Buburu.
Iṣẹ Buburu. Very, very exciting. So yeah, I mean, why don't we just go ahead and dive in?
I know,
We all
I'm
ready?
so
We feeling good? We feeling good? Okay.
Yep.
Feeling
Let's
it.
go.
We're feeling it. Let's go. If you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. A deep purple sky stretches taut over a sleeping nation. Brilliant gold stars pierce through this rich, deep tapestry as this night of all nights brings with it a warning. They sort of hum and pulse with power. It feels as though these stars might burst open and rip the sky open. This is when it happens. One star begins to move across the sky with untold speed. As this comet passes over a tension-filled and fractured Wakandell, a thick tension fills the air. We see fires blaze across Wakandell as the residents gather round them, unable to sleep, all in muffled conversation and discourse about what might soon take place. For the old king, Baraka El-Rondi, is unwell. She has ruled for many, many years, and now we have to think about succession. And there is yet no plan for this. As the comet blazes over the sky, tiny flecks of brilliant white material start to break off of it. One larger piece seems to catch on the wind and start to wind its way down, and it hits the canopy. It burns its way through the canopy with a kind of white-hot fury. Everything it touches on the way down begins to light up. The orange and purple vines start to become wreathed in smoke. And it finally hits the ground. This sort of shimmering, white, silvery metal lands on the ground as the nearby flora starts to burn. And a shadow passes over this material as we see a snake, some 40 foot in length, with the head of an elephant, 4 huge tusks extending out of its face, as we see the snake shift into that of a heavy-set, 9 foot tall, black human, bald head, reaches down and grabs this metal, seemingly unbothered by the searing heat. Like you can hear it in the palm of this creature's hand. Unfazed. It opens it up, and as this happens, the metal almost seems to liquefy and form a ring upon its hand. It's at this point that this creature then raises its head and looks on the sleeping nation of Wakanda. And from here, we will fly towards that city and into in fact, why don't you describe to me what your living quarters is like? As you're restlessly, you're restless, how that manifests itself is totally up to you.
Yeah. Tiwa will sort of wake up just in soaked sheets from a strange nightmare that rapidly leaves her as she comes back to consciousness. She looks out from the very sparse but spacious room that she's in, out in a beautiful view over a massive metropolitan area. She comes from money, but the sort of Spartan nature of the decorations is her penance for the life that she's chosen as a would-be Kingsguard. And can I get a little physical description
Please,
too?
please.
Sweet, yeah. As she sort of blinks awake, you see that a little bit of sickly green light leaves the irises of her eyes. She's got two long French braids, but they're made of smaller braids, run through with hundreds of extremely precious golden and orange pearls that are the sort of signifier of the merchant tribe that she comes from. She's tall at 6'4", lanky but solidly built as you see her kind of move through and put on some robes to start the day, with very ornate orange and black tattoos across her skin that designate her as a warrior of great renown.
Hell yeah. I'm kind of getting the vibe of everything feels purposeful.
Yes.
Kind of very placed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not all of fluff or faffing.
There's
it's
no
yeah,
excess,
hell yeah.
and that's in stark contrast to the meticulous appointment of the people of her that she grew up with.
I love that. I think so. As you're kind of getting ready, I'm gonna say it's 4 a.m. It's super early, but you weren't sleeping anyway, so might as well get up. Do you see the kind of almost purple and orange sun is just starting to crest over the mountains in the distance, and I think you can see sort of Wakandell there, and you can feel that tension, it's in the air, there is this palpable tension. And I think as you're looking around, you can see now this incredible sort of nation that seems to roll on as all of these tribes have come together and built this incredible space. And you have a real mixture of different types of buildings, but the architecture is strong. It's lots of very wide set buildings. The streets are extremely winding, and I think occasionally you'll see where like different tribes have formed and built their areas. Like there's more like grids, you know, so you can really get the sense this is a very mixed place. I think as the light kind of filters into the room, it hits the door, and it's almost like you get this, like, there's a feeling that you know there's someone on the other side of the door. And as it opens, you see Abene. Abene, you know, yes, is the most high-ranking mage who lives in Wakandell, and a sort of right hand to the king. The door swings open, and there is alarm in her eyes.
Oh, my goodness. And I make a deep bow.
I think I need you to come with me.
Of course. What are you? And she immediately goes and reaches back for this massive, very like roughly hewn, dark black looking glaive that's by the door. And the moment she touches it, several cuts open up on her body as like black ichor pours out, scabs over, and forms the armor that she is cursed with. And she'll immedially follow.
I have seen that so many times, and it is still alarming.
It hurts every time.
Yes.
I hate it. But what can I do for you?
Just come with me.
Of course.
So you begin to walk down the hallway. Your quarters, as a would-be Kingsguard, you live in the sort of central palace area. These hallways have extremely high ceilings, tapestries that hang down. I'll say that as you round one particular corridor, you get towards what is all the different tapestries of the tribes and factions that have formed this great nation. You're walking down, and you can tell, like, normally Abene is quite like chatty and like quite open. She is like super closed off and feels like you get she absolutely doesn't see herself.
Yeah.
As you're walking, I think that another member of probably of the merchant tribe joins you. Abene says something to them, and they rush off. And not shortly after, we see someone else walk into the hallway, brought by this other person from the tribe. So yeah, please give us a description.
If I might flavor it slightly differently.
Please.
As the two of them are walking, there's just a guard standing by the door with a halberd, and the moment they walk past, I just sort of very quietly say, Tiwa, we meet again, in changes right in front of you.
Iṣẹ, every time if a Bene wasn't here and something wasn't terrible, I would hit you.
You see his face sort of shimmers for a second, and he changes, and he looks like he could be your brother. I'm just like...
I see what you're doing. Well played. How are you?
Good. As always, Bene, the man who was supposed to be on post here is tied up in a closet down the hallway. Please caution him vigilance.
Yes, but there is a difference when you are literally impossible to see.
That is why you keep me around, yes?
Thank you very much.
Even
Carries on walking. But please give us a description. How are you looking like right now? Give us
I will just say one last thing, is he does just sort of like look at you for a second at the armor, and you see his clothes shimmers like it's about to change and then doesn't.
Thank you.
Still?
I have not found a way to rid myself of the star blight.
The stars seem to be falling upon us. Perhaps there will be a solution there for you as well.
Thank you. And I clap my hand on his shoulder.
He never looks the same twice. He looked just like a guard. Now he looks like her brother, but wearing a slightly different outfit. Like, as he looks at Abine, his everything sort of shimmers for a second, and he's in robes like she's wearing. Yeah.
This is better.
Okay, rude. Sorry, this is not the time.
It's just, I don't know why. It never really sits right with me.
Yeah,
I cannot.
It's stressful.
I cannot describe what it is. It's something in the way the cuts open. Anyway, we must. As this happens, there is the ground seems to shift, and I think you probably notice this from where you are. You are already waiting outside of the throne room.
Oh, I am?
And you can see through a window. You almost saw this coming. There was like a wave as this shooting star has hit some distance off from Wakandell, has hit the ground. And there is sort of this shock wave throughout Wakandell. You feel it as you're coming down the corridor, but you see through this huge kind of floor to ceiling window, this kind of, and then this sort of it's strong enough to shake the actual palace itself.
Okay, so Sha'So very rarely makes herself into the major cities. She's from the Nazari tribe, and they reside far away from the major cities. It's a big, huge tribe, but they kind of pride themselves on being the outlanders. She is the daughter of the chief of the Nazari tribe, but her father, Tashambe, has been called to deal with gird slang. So she, as the daughter, is in charge, sort of. But he left thinking, nothing's going to go wrong, so this is perfect for her.
Yeah.
She will learn. She'll get to feel what it feels like to be in charge.
Absolutely.
But you're saying that she got a call from Abene.
Yes. Yeah. Abene is the one that's brought you here, for sure.
Okay. So one thing you notice, wherever Sha'So is, there's always a shadow of a giant bearded dragon flying in the skies. Just a shadow. Mm-hmm. Because her tribe's mark is a luck dragon from the Neverending Story, because I like the way they look.
Heck
so it's like a furry dragon, because where her tribe exists, it tends to have a climate that's either very, very hot or very, very cold. There's no in between. And her people have that type of personality. Mm-hmm. So she's actually excited to have been summoned by Abene, but she's wondering what for. Mm-hmm. She's about 6'2". So she's quite big.
Yeah.
She's very, very stocky. Yes, that's right. So
I'm gonna say now, Abene is. In fact, Aabria, will you roll me a D12 and a D4, please?
Yes.
Big shout out to Jeremy Cobb. We're gonna roll on the random race chart here.
Double twos, baby.
Double twos.
Ooh.
Oh, heck yeah. Abene
Yeah.
is an incredibly proud-looking dragonborn.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and say, just because I
Excited.
think it's a fun flex, like 6'4".
Nice.
All
You
right.
know what I mean?
Of
Big
a
people.
height? What's up?
Big people
doing?
representing.
Yeah, absolutely. Big people in this corridor. I think
Yes.
as
It's a big
you,
people corridor.
I think just for like the flavor of it, because I
Yes.
absolutely love that. As you are making your way down this this corridor, the tapestries, those like kind of big hanging tapestries with the kind of the banners of the tribes, they all kind of like shake as you get towards the end, and you see this dragon, this sort of shadow dragon, pass across these tapestries, and you know who's at the end of this corridor now. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Sha'So's at the end of it. Okay, cool.
Every time.
And like Abene looks up and goes, "Oh, Sha'So's already here. That is good." So you get to the end of this hallway, and Abene turns and looks at you all and says, "We have less time than we realized. The king is dead.
No.
She passed in her sleep, and try what we might, she does not want to come back. The ancestors have taken her."
I'm so sorry.
This leaves us open to danger. If the neighboring factions find out that we are vulnerable, we could be under attack immediately.
Yes, there is something of a meeting happening, and you can see she looks hella bored already.
Yeah.
The like doors open, and there's just like a group of like 15 people or so, all just kind of like going backwards and forwards, having their own mini discussions, etc. Yeah.
I would say when she says this, you notice for a split second, his guise drops and you see an incredibly pale face with just completely white eyes and just like black circles. And then like remembers himself and changes again and says,
Oh.
"Who found the king, and is their loyalty assured? Because if she has been struck dead, I personally will."
This is perhaps something we could investigate, but currently the main thing we have to focus on is what we are going to do next.
Yes.
Now, do you remember I told you about the herb?
I think my father told me about it.
Yes. Well, I think that it is potentially still something that we should explore if this situation does not resolve itself quickly. I am imagining that will be quite a few people who will present themselves as the next ruler, and I do not know whether we will find a quick solution, and we must.
Has the news gotten out that she's gone?
No one outside of this room knows, other than, well, us, because we are standing outside the room now, but you
Yeah,
understand what I mean,
understand.
yes.
Abene, my understanding was the heart-shaped herb was meant to prolong the king's life.
Yes.
Why would we want to find it now?
Because if there is a struggle for power, this might allow the wielder of this herb to show that they are strong enough to lead this place.
So you anticipate a fight?
Oh, yes. That is undeniable.
Right in front of you, Issei starts changing into different people and giving all of their dirty laundry. I'm like, this man from the Seafoam tribe drinks too much and is a buffoon. This woman is a gambler. Just like automatically just reading everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
He was looking like, please don't say me, please.
Yeah.
I'm not in the running. No, please don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Issei briefly turns into Sha'So's ex-boyfriend and says, "You must." Oh, never mind. I keep forgetting. Never mind.
You should
Yeah, you
hit him
nearly got
anyway.
it.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
Oh.
it was bad. It
The
was
sword
bad.
starts rattling. I'm like, I will change this
Yeah.
face. Yeah.
I think actually the your sword probably has like a light kind of rumble to it. Like the tension is built to a point where like it feels like there's a couple people in here that might snap.
Copy.
So all of this kind of a din comes over the room as you enter, but you see. Why don't you go ahead? Give me a D12 and a D4. You can absolutely roll these.
Yeah,
ones
you wanna
if
use these
want
ones?
to.
Oh,
yeah,
Perfect.
they don't match.
What did I get? A 6.
So 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a 1. Oh, so cool.
Ooh.
So you see Dao So Dao is a kind of high-ranking member, like the leader of a tribe who has a certain, like, well-regarded station. Sort of stands up incredibly tall as this Goliath towers over most people in this room. Everyone in Wakandell hella tall, apparently. That's just a
love
thing.
this for us.
Like we are.
I'm the
Okay.
shortest person in the room. That never happened.
And you see Dao stands up and says, "Enough. We know what must happen. A trial by combat is the only fair way to decide who will lead Wakandell."
Well, what do you mean, like, by that? That doesn't try by combat between us?
There is no way that the 18 tribes will follow someone who does not show their strength.
But strength is not the most important trait for a leader.
If
And
you
takes
want
many
to
forms.
get into the... want to go forwards and backwards with every single tribe about what makes a great leader in this time, then please be my guest. Let me get them all in a room for you to have this discussion.
Well, you have quite an attitude this morning. I don't know what to say.
That
about it.
happens to be because the king has passed.
Sha'So sort of sits down in the middle of the room on the floor.
Oh, no. I want to try to kind of catch you as you're going down, like, no, you're good. As I get closer to you, I think you feel like a warmth and something like the sound of running water as I use my aura of courage. Like, you can't be frightened. Next to me. Be strong.
Sha'So pulls all 6'2", 19, 20-year-old self, stands up and looks at Tiwa and nods, looks at Iṣẹ and says, I'm happy you are here, both of you,
Of course.
if we're going to do this.
With respect, my lord. And then Iṣẹ vanishes and is behind him with a sword in his back. I don't kill him, just touch it to him. And I'm like, you cannot simply announce your intentions like this. You think everyone will fight you honorably. I assure you they will not. And
That.
Understood. I'm going to see just how... do you mind?
Yeah.
How much of their of his shit is lost. Oh, a lot. He goes, okay. What, may I ask, would you suggest? Iṣẹ.
I am distrustful by nature. It has kept me alive. Surely the king knew she was in ill health. Is this trial by combat what she wished? And I turn into the king. Just in front of there and all.
I think like everyone in the room shifts. Like, yeah, I think like definitely like the tension ramps up like a couple more notches.
Yeah.
Like a few people reach for like weapons and like.
I need you to know in the depths of his heart, Iṣẹ does not care.
Oh, 100%.
Like makes a point. In fact, is making a point to see who doesn't look sad. You know what I mean?
I think like with the reactions, I will say that there is huge respect for the king in this room, like huge respect. Probably like too much in the sense that like these people were so kind of blindly following this one person. That's the reason why this vacuum is happening now. You know what I mean? That's the reason why this place feels so leaderless currently.
Although, point of clarification, do we have any idea, like, is a trial by combat probably the most
That's
legit
probably,
thing? Like, is
like,
it really
yeah.
probably how this would go down? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But I think the one thing that you would know is that like there is probably some 50-odd people that are going to come forward for this trial. Like it's going to be, this is not going to be a swift or particularly straightforward process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can already tell by just how much disagreement there is in this room alone. Like this over the entire nation, whilst everyone sorts their shit out, is gonna be, you know what I mean? Like that's probably not the best thing.
I will
Copy.
only say this last thing, still with the face of the king. I just pick one random person that I just happen to know is untrustworthy. And I
yeah.
point at him and I say, if you send your son, I will kill him in his sleep the night before. And then just turn back into, actually I just look like an orc. You're a half orc? I look like a full-blooded orc. And just stand there.
Roll me a d4 and a d12.
D4 and a
Each value
D12.
separately, that'd be awesome.
The 12 is a 10.
The 12 is a 10.
The 4 is a 1.
Incredible. There is a, we're going to say 6-1 so pretty
Oh my god,
short.
impossibly
Yeah,
tiny.
yeah, like so small.
They make them that small?
Yeah, exactly. Not in Wakandell, they don't. And this tiefling shifts extremely uncomfortably. You see that they have like deep purple skin, long horns that like curl round and almost come up. They almost look a little bit like tusks as they come all the way up. Looks at you, and like you see fire in the eyes for a second, and then like immediately it quells.
I turn into them and I say, he will not see me coming.
I will not stand for this. Our tribe will be represented in the morning for a trial by combat, and they immediately leave the room. I think it's at this point that Abene kind of like clocks eyes at all three of you and like gestures to the corner of the room.
All right. So this thing you need from us. Why have you chosen the three of us?
Well, I have to admit that I had some help in ascertaining that you two in particular were to be trusted.
Oh, you like
What?
me. You really like me.
Very much.
Okay, we can do this like another time.
Okay,
maybe.
fair.
Okay, I know.
Like not do it, you know.
It was a moment of levity in a
Yes.
very stark
Yes,
situation.
yes.
I understood.
But go on.
Yes.
You know me, or normally
No,
totally on
so
board.
good.
It's just
Yeah, I
like
get it.
right
It's a
now,
big day for you.
Yes, yes.
If it would make your life easier, I can kill any of these people.
That's
that you
not
wish.
okay. You've got to
I
not
don't-
lead with the murder foot.
I didn't lead with it. I led with that we can trust you. I'm just
Okay,
following up with if there's anyone you know you do not.
I
want
kick
to
the
be
door
king.
shut behind me.
Yeah. Make a point. I'm
Getting
still
weird.
got that tiefling's
Yeah.
face. I'm like, as the door's closing there.
He's just kidding.
I assure you, I am not.
Perfect.
Absolutely amazing. Passive perceptions
Passive is 20.
20.
Also 20.
Also 20.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh my god.
Like radar, daredevil.
Yeah.
Like, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's in my
A
10.
little garbage tonight.
I'm so sorry. We gotta warp this dice up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dog,
What
we're
up?
trying to tell a story.
Yeah. Come on. Okay, so you see this person coming from a fair distance off. There is a black raven-like Aarakocra that's is like kind of like hovers in over the like top of the ceiling. It's because the ceilings go up so high, and winds its way down to Abene and whispers something in Abene's ear. And Abene says, "Someone approaches." And as you look towards the end of the hallway, you see this robed figure, about 9 foot tall,
Ooh.
bald head, very heavy set. They approach, and like with like a wave of the hand, you see this hand that has this brilliant white ring on their finger. They like wave a hand, the doors swing open, and there is like an unnatural hush that comes over everyone, and you can feel yourself like as you go to speak, you feel like something. It's like not like you can speak,
Yeah.
but there is like a huge. There's like a like an apple in your throat, kind of. You're like, and it's like kind of forced, right? It's almost like the presence of this whoever this person is it has some effect on you all.
Do I have the ability to interpose myself between them and the door before even like as they open the door, can I just slide in between it and just sort of try to bar their passage?
Heck yeah, you can.
Can I light them on fire? I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
interesting.
It goes to 11, yes, absolutely. Right.
Go ahead and roll me Roll me an intimidation, Jack.
Please be good. Hot garbage. It's a hot garbage day. 8?
8. Okay. This person stops in front of you and says, do you wish to stop me delivering my message?
No. I would ask that you show respect by announcing yourself before you barge in. And very weirdly, she's struggling to like maintain eye contact with him, but can still hold her strong pose. But her eyes are cast downward, and she's like fighting to regain herself.
This figure like kind of opens their arms and says, "Do you see weapons on me? Any threat of violence?"
I have known too many mages that do not need a blade to wield terrible power. And all I ask for is a name.
I have gone by many names. But some in the legend may know me as the Grutzlang. And as this happens, you see this figure transforms into this 40-foot tall snake with this elephant's head, looks down upon all of you and says,
3 days hence, I will challenge any of you to become the leader of Wakandell.
Does my sword rattle?
oh yeah. It's like,
Right. Because you know, Iṣẹ is fine until the sword lets me know that it's not fine. You know.
I think it was 100% fine until the transformation.
Yeah.
Like there was when they presented themselves and said, "There is no weapons on me." There was no threat behind that. You know.
Yeah.
And looks down and says,
There is a great power that has presented itself to Wakandell. But you must prove you are worthy of it.
Sha'So would like to stand up right behind Tiwa. And she pulls from behind her this giant great axe. And as she does, the head of the great axe unfolds and it looks like these steel palms. And instead of blades, there's just like these sharp looking fingers. And she looks and says, "The gauntlet has been thrown."
Do you wish to challenge me?
Not here, not now. This is a place of discussion. Can I roll some sort of like history check? What do I know of this
Yes.
legendary
Does that mean
creature?
anything?
Please do. Yeah.
Dice, please. Please, you have to help.
Look, please feel free if you want to
Thank
grab
you.
yourself.
Please.
Dice jail.
Help.
You know what I mean?
I'll try again later, but that was just a 10.
Okay.
I have
10.
dice. I don't know why.
How's everyone else looking? with it?
Guess who got a 1?
Oh, boy.
And I'm infuriated because
We've
I'm all
never read a
like, how
book
do
in
I
our
not
life.
know about this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
feel like maybe that like slightly oppressive presence
Yeah.
is just like maybe I think you're even like that you can feel parts of you like shifting like this. I think for you to feel this like off center, it's really messing with you in a way that like you're not used to.
and
all.
I can't do a snake with an elephant head. I'm like,
You're like, maybe that's what it is. You're trying to like figure it out.
my nose just gets a little too long, and I'm like,
And we're like looking, we're watching him do it, and we're sort of like, ugh.
What's I bet
It's not
it's
working.
fully just like
yeah.
It's not working.
I want to whatever this is. Please. Okay, and
Sha'So got a 10. I mean, she's super young.
I bet
so.
I leans forward and goes, "Do not worry, I know what this is. I'll explain later."
Okay, go.
And as this creature announces that it is the Grutzslanger, there is a shift in the room for sure, and then a wide panic. You see that where it shifted, that white metal has gone almost into the pupil of this this snake's eyes. It's almost like that's where the metal seems to have shifted, and there is a glint in the eye. It flashes, and you are you're blinded for a second, and it's gone. The creature is gone.
The moment it leaves, I am going to turn and retch.
We're outside.
Scariest thing I've ever done.
We're at the hallway outside the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I see that she's about to lose it, I cast Thaumaturgy to make the door slam so
yeah.
they don't see the king's guard get afraid.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I am, however, going to offer inspiration here and here because there was some great stuff with the throne room. I love what you did there, and then also standing up to this thing, I'm like, okay.
And immediately when you're done, prestidigitation, like it didn't happen. I'm like, there's something you ate. There's something. It's I understand.
No, you know what? I am not going to be sad that I responded normally to a 40-foot snake staring down at me. I think that's a bar that we can all just... That was fine.
Also,
that was fine, I did that.
The elephant head was extremely off-putting.
Yeah, and the slits for the eyes. It was...
No part of it. I didn't like any part of it.
Like I keep my orc fangs come out like, I'm like
trying to
yeah.
Where I am from, we eat snake.
Cool.
Well,
It is very good. Roasted with a little bit of...
if you can eat this one, I think that would probably be good, honestly.
Then I turn into a loxodon, an elephant person, like very proud of myself. I'm like, it is it's like the same thing. Yes.
Close enough. Close enough.
Okay, hold on. Loxodon at the top, Yuan-Ti on the bottom.
We can get I can't get rid of my legs, but again, it's just like it's terrible. But it is like the kindergarten paper mache approximation of what we just saw. And I'm like,
oh my god, that's hilarious. So like, if you don't know the creature well, the appearance you turn is kind of.
I can duplicate any humanoid. Yeah, right. But it's
Okay.
that wasn't humanoid.
That was not 100%.
Abene, I think you've made a very good point about why we need to go find that herb.
Yes, I did not imagine it being quite so necessary
Yeah,
so soon.
yeah.
We should do that.
Can you keep them at bay for 3 days?
I will do what I can, but you need to hurry.
First thing, what do you know about what that was?
Yes.
I apparently have never read the book before.
Yes, I'm surprised that none of you have read it. Would
That
you not
was
listen
very
in
scary.
any of my classes?
Literally
It is
never.
Very time consuming keeping tabs on all these people.
That is completely understandable. Yes, please step this, and as you kind of like, I'll say that you've moved around. You'll go into like Abene's office.
Yeah.
Like office space so that you can have some space on your own. Abene puts like a mark on the door so that they're and like you would know this is like a way of basically sealing off from like any prying eyes. Like you couldn't have like a scrying in here or whatever. And she, as she sort of leans you in, she kind of like rotates her hand, and as she does, an orb appears, and you kind of feel yourself sort of drifting inside your own mind as you're kind of getting like a cutscene. Yeah.
The animation's different for this part.
Yeah, absolutely. Super different. This is all like a kind of hand drawn. We're getting like kind of quite like interstitial frames,
Nice.
overlaid. It's real artistic though. It's all in like sepia colors as well. You know what I mean?
That's how you know it's a memory.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
true.
So you find yourself on the bank of a river, and you're kind of physically there, although unable to sort of affect. You feel kind of almost like ethereal in nature whilst you're here.
Mm-hmm.
And from the bank of the river, you see this kind of snake wind its way up out of the river and then transform into like a smaller human. And there is the land around it is sort of shifting and changing, or like as the kind of cutscene is happening, it's shifting and changing, and it's becoming slightly kind of sickened and unwell, and we see this creature sort of starting to grow and grow, and we're getting like a time shift. It's like happening in front of you. And the sort of the sicker the land is becoming, the more this creature sort of seems to be emboldened. You start then seeing people drift into this land, coming to try and like farm, trying to like aid it. You see like mages arrive, trying to like heal it in some way, and this creature having like a visceral reaction to them, like affecting this place, striking these mages down. And you see that as the more like creatures the more like humanoids that are coming and it's killing, the stronger it grows. You see these tusks start to appear where the fangs are. Like it now curls out into these long tusks that then split off into 4. You see the creature is getting longer and longer and like growing and growing and growing until eventually you see that it kind of becomes, I guess, the form that it is now. And it looks around and is...
These lands are mine. You wish to change it for your own gains. No longer. I will rule here. I will govern this land's powers. Not you.
And you see as it dives down and like literally like gores into this mage that stands in front of them, trying to stop them, trying to enclose this creature, until eventually we see that shot. You see this tiny fleck of metal come down, this creature pick it up and form this metal ring on its finger, and the power seems to surge through this thing. Like, it was pretty strong, but like once this ring goes on, it is like goes to an entirely new level. You then see this person, this 9-foot person, is walking for some time, and they come across this comet that has crashed in a huge crater, and you see where it's crashed, the kind of earthen crust of the comet has completely kind of melted away. And there is this huge kind of glowing white kind of bed of material. And as it looks down at this metal, like even it seems scared by the power that this kind of that this is emitting. It looks back towards Wakandell and says, in fact, I'll say it looks back towards you 3, almost as if it's like breaking the fourth wall kind of thing, and says,
"You see the power here. If you are not worthy of it, none shall have it."
And you are sucked out.
Oh, okay. Well,
Did we just witness a prophecy, or is that what...
I have a feeling that has already happened.
What happens if we fail?
Well, it either rules us through subjugation or we are killed.
Well, neither of those is very good.
Yes. No, not good.
We have to send him, or it, whatever it is, back where it came from.
We need to find that metal.
Where was this vision?
You see, she like goes over to the window, and you can still see there is like a plume of smoke where this comet is hit. Like as the sun is now coming up, you can see there is a plume of smoke. And she looks and says, "I think that we are not equipped to use this metal for anything to aid us now, but the herb, I think, is something that is foretold, blessed to us by our ancestors, and I think that is something that you could wield. Okay. The 3 of you could wield it and become our champions and fight the thing. It's easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
When you put it that way, it must be okay.
Yeah, so easy.
We must go. We have very little time. 3 days.
Yes. And we will go to the floating mountains. That is where the tribal combat was due to happen.
Okay.
I will lead everyone there very, very, very slowly.
Good job.
Thank you.
And, well, if you come back strong enough, you will
Issei reaches into Issei reaches into his robes and he pulls out a scroll where all that blackmail that I just mentioned idly I give to her. And I'm like,
Incredible.
use this carefully. Once they know you know, it will no longer be of any power.
She opens it up and
I
goes,
was like,
Yo, passive perception of 20. I'm like,
yeah,
Yeah, truly
I did not believe it myself. Yes,
truly
absolutely.
scandalous.
Yeah.
twice. She did that twice.
This- Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yes.
We have to go. We have to go.
Yes, right.
Honestly, I would rather deal with the mountains and the herb and the snake than people like that.
Okay, we are going to do a little bit of a jump cut from here.
Okay.
And I would like each of you, it is very typical as warriors that you would have some sort of mount that would enable you to get from A to B. Please describe your mount. Very common are like large white lions, for instance. There are flying mounts. What would you, do you think that your character would like to ride in on if they were riding into combat?
Okay, you know.
I know you want to start, so go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? Aria's like
Ready.
I know exactly what Sha'So's mount. So, like I said, from her tribe, the sort of tribal animal is this dragon that happens to have sort of like beard and whiskers, almost like a luck dragon. So it also has like arms and feet, sort of, but it can fly. So
Yeah.
it literally looks like a luck dragon, and they're all blue and silver because her tribe specifically is known for lightning, cold, and frost damage. But for whatever reason, she was born with firepower. And that's why she doesn't really know how to use it, sort of.
Yeah,
so her
yeah.
mount is like the dragon sort of comes down and lands, and it can walk too, but it's like a smaller version of like a massive dragon. Like it's not
Yeah.
something like you see in like House of Dragon. But
I'm going to say that, like, as you find yourself at the edge of this city, you see the kind of that shadow is kind of, you see it on the ground flying around, and then almost as if it materializes out of the shadow, you see this dragon rise up and kind of like walks onto the ground and bows its head down, like presenting for you. What about you?
I assume there's some type of like desert condor or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
The most unassuming brown bird. Like you wouldn't think twice.
Yeah.
It's fairly
The
large.
bird's
but
actually been there the whole time, and you're
Right.
like, whoa, what
Yeah,
did that
just-
happen? Like, it's just,
you're just like, oh, the desert condor. And when it lands, you would think, you're like, there's no way he can ride that. And in front of you, Issei turns into a very small gnome. Like small even for a gnome.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah,
Like
and
what?
just sort of like hops on. Yeah,
This
like
is
looks up at
this
both
is the
of you.
most confusing form
Yeah.
to like.
Yeah.
Everyone is
Yeah.
tall.
I
like,
didn't know people could be small.
yeah.
yeah, we're
Interesting.
looking like, wow.
Well, it's like kind of look like a baby, and then people sort of just don't pay attention. That's how this all works.
Yes.
And like hop on the back of this,
Incredible.
and just sort of like when it flies, you can't make me out on the back of it type thing.
Yeah.
And just like,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love it so much.
Nice. Because I do have paladin, fine greater steed.
Hey.
I think her mount looks like the masthead, like a hippocampus masthead that's been broken off of the ship because she's from the merchant
Whoa,
tribe,
yeah.
and they're known
Oh,
for their ships. So it's this massive like horse with the back end of like a seahorse, and as it moves, even though it looks like it's made of wood and shouldn't be able to articulate, as it moves, it looks like it's walking on like spectral water, and it can fly too.
Yeah.
But it's very
Nice.
ostentatious. You do not want to be near me.
Yeah.
I am not subtle.
this is advantageous. All eyes are on you,
Yeah.
and not on me.
Absolutely incredible.
That had
Who
charisma, yo.
Here has the best arcana.
Oh God, no.
That is not my
Negative
thing.
one.
It could be you.
It's +5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an arcana roll. This is going to be basically Abene has given you a kind of almost like a magical signature for the herb. So you're
That was
effectively trying to
so
like
scary.
Did you see that? It laid on the one. It laid on the one, and then it just rocked to the 18 at the very last second. I was prepared to cash in that advantage for like,
That's
because otherwise I'm like, we must go this way. I know for certain it is this way.
Have a heart attack. I was like,
5 days later, you're like, Okay, so
Yeah.
We may be
So-
lost.
23 total.
Well, can I give you? I know you rolled very high. Can I give you advantage as
Oh,
she kind of Tiwa uses her divine sense to try to help you triangulate?
let's see if
Don't
we
give
can
it. I
get
mean,
an
well, we're
actual
sitting on a
20.
23, so let's
do
try
it.
again. We'll crit fish. Crit fish.
Confrontation.
Let's see.
This is what happens when you've got really good players. I worry about when we get into combat. They're
No.
going to destroy everything.
Now we just little dirtbags like I use the help action.
Strong
This
dirtbags.
time was a 19. It's a 20, but it did go. Yeah. You know?
yes.
Right. Yeah.
What
it's
is
true.
with these rolls?
And the
I don't know.
DC was a 24. I mean, it
There
wasn't,
you
but
go.
it is now.
It is now.
It is
What?
now.
Just
The
did
power
it.
of friendship.
The power of friendship. Okay, so you is there anything actually? I'll say that you can have like almost like a downtime moment. You
Yeah.
get the sense it's going to take a little while. This journey is not going to be particularly quick. Is there anything that you would be saying to each other? Is there anything that you discuss? You know, this is probably like the first time that you're getting to process the fact that like the king has died. Like she's
Yeah.
been a huge part of your lives for a long time.
I would say especially because they both have very large mounts. I spend a lot of time writing with each of them.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you very private things about people you know
No.
in very extreme
You
detail.
have to stop.
Just like I knew it. I knew she stole my dress.
Yeah.
Okay, let me be very
Sorry.
clear. I am not her. I don't want to know any of this. You have to stop telling me. If I could make myself if I could make the words slide off of my ears, I would. You please stop.
I'm like, your parents are still adults. Adults have needs.
I
It's like-
don't. I will crash.
I'm taking notes.
I will.
Sha'So's taking notes on her mount.
I'm like, the
Horrifying.
safe word is pineapple. I don't know what the pineapple
Okay,
is. but
this
that
is the
it.
thing. I'm going to crash us all. I hope the Grootslaka
Yeah.
wins. I hope
You
he
just hear a
wins.
distant. What was that?
Yeah.
You're giving up.
Shut up!
So-
Oh,
right, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Nobody's talking to you.
Okay, sorry. I'll just.
We have 2.5 days. Shut up.
Okay, and counting.
Okay.
It's like facing the sun there, you know?
Yeah,
like the
fully.
Teletubbies, baby.
Yeah,
like,
Oh
yeah,
no! Again.
Right.
I feel like it's like the Grootslanger's heads just like forms out of like natural things. It's just like, are you ready now?
What?
Are you,
No.
It's like out of the like forest, you just see like like all the leaves coalesce to
Yeah.
make this like elephant head. Like,
Grow a clock.
you ready?
Grow a watch.
The end of the snake comes up, little timepiece. Oh, I'm bored. Hurry up.
Well, my mount randomly will laugh like a luck dragon, like for no reason.
Oh my
whatsoever.
god, I hate it. This is the most cursed trip.
I love
What happened to
this
the smash
so
cut?
much.
It's horrifying.
I absolutely love this so much. You can take an inspiration for the laughing dragon. Okay, so as you're making your way and getting just far too much detail that you just
Yeah.
really didn't want,
Hated.
you are traveling over these lands, and you can see the kind of the biodiversity as it rolls. It's not just sort of jungles, or there are thick sort of jungles which surround Wakandell, but you're now journeying sort of over mountains, and it's getting significantly more tough. So I'm going to say that this will be like a group survival check as we make our way through these mountains. You're dealing with harsh weather conditions. You're getting a lot of like up currents from like these mountains, so it's hard to, like, even though you are experienced riders, like this is really tough to keep control of
Copy.
of yourself. So yeah.
I would say at one point, like, a gust comes up and just completely blows me off the back of your dragon, and then just like misty step back up on the yard. Like, okay, right.
Say the word pineapple.
Dirty 20. Exactly.
20?
I'm like, I do not know what this fruit is, but they yell it a lot. They are like, but yes.
I got a 10.
27.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
27?
Natural 20 plus 5 plus I get I can add a D4 to my survival check.
I
So
love it.
Amazing.
So what did you get?
10.
Okay, so you're like a straight hot mess.
Thank
and,
you.
Like just shrug. Like you're like this seahorse is just like it's fully. It's used to being on like ocean, like choppy oceans where it can kind of like see and ride the waves. It's now unable to see these waves.
I'm arguing telepathically with the whole time. Please, I understand. I know. I'm also shocked by the news about my parents, but we don't have time to process this.
I cannot unsee like the images in my mind that have been given to. Oh no! Jasper like comes up. We should really focus. I don't like this. This is a horrible situation. Why have you brought me here? Why have you brought me? Like,
okay, I'm gonna close the channel.
It's just whinnying and yelling all over the place now.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got the noises.
Practice.
But luckily you have this incredible bearded dragon who is able to kind of course correct, lend a wing, just laughing the whole time.
Horrifying!
Truly like so loud as well, like it's echoing throughout the mountains. You can just throughout these mountains. And so as it begins to change, you see it goes down into a valley. And you're kind of like the beat on the that kind of magical signature is starting to get like a little bit like scrambled. Like you feel like yourself kind of almost like wanting to turn around. No, it definitely is that way. No, it's not. But you can feel yourself in that way. So I think what we're gonna do is like another check, but it will be you can if you want to use some of that like survival to try and like you almost have like an image of like where you need to go. You're struggling to see it.
Could I compel you, since we're getting closer, to make it perception instead of survival, or does it have to be
absolutely
survival?
We can use
because I'm a little bit better at that.
Yeah, sure.
Nice. All right.
Are we all doing it? No.
Survive.
Yeah, and then survival.
Alright, got
so
it.
yeah.
So
Again.
24 again.
Amazing.
It was on the natural 20, and then just like,
20.
but that's all right. We got there.
16.
Mm-hmm.
16. Okay,
Still good.
awesome.
Yeah.
You, after like not too long, I'd say you've probably been traveling for around a day. It's getting it's getting late again. And you come to a tree line. And the brush becomes extremely thick to the point where like you'd probably struggle to get mounts through here, and you'd probably have to proceed on foot. Your perception was a 24.
Yeah, oops, sorry. I took it so far from you. The dice do go high, but not for me.
But to say, don't know if high is good or bad.
We walk
Sorry.
through and get killed by a tree.
It's true.
That'd actually be very funny.
The tree.
The end.
No one's side.
You get hit with a branch.
Because no one's on my side.
As you start to walk through this brush, and you can feel yourself like closing in. I think all of you are now picking up on like there is like this forest has a energy to it. Like yeah, absolutely. And it's like it's almost like the opposite of what the Grutzlanger did to you, where this is like you feel yourself like feeling revitalized. Like you know what I mean? Like you feel if you were weary from the travel, you feel your bones kind of ease up when they were aching. Your muscles kind of release a little bit. I'd say it's almost a little bit disarming. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's almost a little bit like, oh, okay, no, like, focus. You know what I mean? And you are traveling for some time when I think both of your passives are pretty high. Yeah. You can feel something watching you. Like you have like it is a palpable like almost like a pressure on like on your back right now where you're like there's definitely something else here. So what do you guys want to do?
I would love to use my divine sense if I may.
Heck yeah, let's have some possibilities.
Sweet. To know the location of a celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that's not behind total cover.
Okay, awesome.
Divine sense always sounds like it's a much cooler thing than it is, and you're like, that tells you a tiny bit of information.
Well, here's the thing. How does your divine sense manifest itself? Like, I'm asking, like, what does your magic look like?
I think, again, in that sort of, like, scabbed over, cursed armor, there's, like, a piercing, like there's like a green glow, especially as it starts to go a little closer to dark, that begins to seep out from the edges. And the moment there's sort of like hairs on the back of her neck raise up, she like takes an inhale, and as she exhales, like this like green glowing vapor comes out of her mouth, and there's like a low-lying fog on the ground now, out to 60 feet in every direction.
Incredible. I'm gonna say that what happens is as this like a fog lands on the ground, as it like sort of starts to touch the ground, the like vines and like things that make up the bed of this forest, like parts of them start to like almost like pulse in a certain direction. Like you can kind of feel it, and it kind of goes forward a little bit and then snakes round behind you. And as you look round behind you, you see a probably like twice the size of a regular black panther is up a tree. Where it's touching the tree, like you see this kind of purple shimmer underneath its feet, eyes like bright purple as it looks down upon the three of you. And in your minds you hear a deep purr first. And I think in your minds, like you kind of almost like, oh, that's what was making me feel so comfortable and like warm and cozy. You know what I mean? There was this like deep purr that was almost so deep you just felt it, but you couldn't hear it. Now you're kind of getting this like warming kind of purr. And you hear a, may I ask what you are doing in my forest? This signature of this creature is exactly the same as what you were looking for.
I take a knee and bow.
I assume my sword doesn't start to vibrate?
No.
I turn into a Black Panther tabaxi.
Cool. Very cool. Very
in bow. But style-wise, it's completely different than what she does. It is very elaborate. It is almost like a dance that I start doing.
Amazing. I'm almost imagining like the as you transform, it's almost like the magic is like laying like a new layer upon you. Do you know what I mean? Like as you're sort of shifting. We'll like even say, because I think it's fun that you three have adventured before, and you know you've become quite in tune. Like even some of that like green smoke is kind of like rising up and is helping to form this kind of visage that you have donned. Then I think this panther's gonna sort of look towards you. These two bow and then just sort of side eyes you. Like,
interesting.
What's your vibe?
Sha'So sort of tilts her head and looks over at Tiwa.
I'm going to elbow you in the knee. Bro.
And
Divine elbow?
Yeah.
Ow! And she's gonna take her knee, but as she does, again, her great axe, you'll notice the hands of the blade open wide, and there's like a crackling, like a fire sort of sound.
Okay. Stop it. Just be cool. Be cool. I've been behind your laughing ass dragon this entire time. Maybe just be
like distantly. The panther's like,
I know. Don't worry about this.
It's a long
Don't
story.
worry about it.
Sorry,
Don't look
it's
around.
a long story. It's
okay,
just
so
it's cool.
Anyway, why are you here?
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and look at Iṣẹ, who, for having a million faces, I think across our adventures is absolutely the face of our group.
I feel like you're probably a much better negotiator than me.
I know I am, but I'm letting you have it.
I was about to say, you called me when negotiations had failed.
Okay.
We'll just look at it and I say, we are here to save Wakandell.
From what?
And I immediatally start trying to put that face on. And like,
the panther immediately starts like yak a furball.
Yeah. I'm gonna lay on hands and just pet it. Don't. You gotta keep it down.
As your hand, it starts like vibrate with this purple. As you kind of shimmer. I think like as you get close to it, it's like it doesn't have like a fully corporeal form. This panther. Like you feel like if you could probably put your hand through it, but that would be very disrespectful. So you would, won't do that.
I'm sending a petting vibe.
However, the panther goes, the Groot slang, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yes, she understood.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you require from me?
If you can help us find the heart-shaped herb, we can.
And when she says that, Sha'So is going to cast message and ask Tiwa, did Abene want us to mention the heart-shaped herb to this creature? Will Iṣẹ have to kill him now?
I think this is something worth our trust and full disclosure. If I'm
Right.
wrong, continue on.
All right, but if he proves untrustworthy. And Sha'So, without saying anything, just looks toward Iṣẹ and tilts her head again.
We'll say when she tilts her head, my eyes just go down to the sword and it's not rattling. And then just like look back at her.
He's
No.
big without.
Sha'So, you are young. The lesson that I wish I had learned much sooner was to know when to trust.
You're right, sister.
Thank you for your faith in me.
Sha'So nods, and you'll notice her great axe does this sort of thing with her heart.
Awesome. Very cool. I think this creature looks down upon the three of you and says, you seek the heart-shaped herb so that you may defeat this creature that threatens Wakanda.
Or whoever is worthy of it can, yes.
It is not easy to find, and there is much that you must prove. If you are, and if Wakandell is to receive that gift, do you feel up to this task?
There is no choice.
We have 3 days, and it required a day to get here and perhaps a day to return, so...
So you need to do it in a day. Watch.
I look over at a bush
going
that
to
could
be-
look like the Grease Saga, like, get a watch.
The face just comes down and goes, okay.
Are we to understand that you might know where this herb to be found is?
You see, it is my herb. And I have yet to bestow my gift upon any mortal creature. But perhaps you will prove yourself to be worthy of it.
If we are wrong, do what is in your nature to do. All we ask is a chance to try and prove our worth, to protect our people.
Well, that's a good start.
Do you know who Abene is?
Okay.
He's like, whoa, yeah, sure.
Bene,
Yes.
I mean, I sort of know, like, a lot of people, but I probably couldn't place.
Ooh,
Yes. The massive flex we have for you today is that we have been sent by him.
Right, okay, yes. Send my good will.
Can I roll an insight check
my
to see how
God.
much this creature doesn't know of Bene?
do it.
I tried.
Oh, now I rolled
Now
good.
you roll.
Perfect. Cool. A 21 to know the tea on this giant cat.
Perfect.
The dice tell a story.
This actually is pretty useful for you, I think. You realize this cat seems to be an amalgamation of ancestors. So there isn't just one kind of personality. This is like a fusion of probably some very old ancestors, but probably a few newer ones. And there's like an ancestor in there who has a very strong opinion of Abene, but it's like,
Oh.
I'm gonna just leave it.
Incredible.
I'm gonna leave it
That's
here.
cute.
I'm gonna leave it here.
That's really cute.
Y'all are cute.
Yeah. There's definitely just that little bit of like, no.
It's like auntie
Did you have
vibes.
something to say?
Yeah,
Did you have a comment?
I got nothing.
Did you want to?
Auntie, we can come back and have this conversation later.
Okay, we'll do that another time. Okay.
See, Iṣẹ pushes his hood back and changes in front of you again. And he's very small. He's not much bigger than a child. And he has that completely white face that you saw before, white eyes, dark black circles around them. And he just stands there and says, I am a child of this very forest. Were they not worthy, I would not have allowed them to make it this far.
Ooh, go ahead.
We have
roll
never
a
known exactly where you are
perception
from.
check. Let's
Nope.
go. Let's
Wow.
persuasion, sorry, persuasion.
Persuasion? All right, let's see here.
Amazing.
Wow.
Cool.
Let's
cool,
see.
cool,
May
cool.
or may not cash in this advantage. Let's see.
Just roll perfect, actually.
Oh, it went to a 20 and rolled
Yeah.
off of it, but it's
So
still
good.
it's still a 24.
So 24?
Yeah.
Let's go.
This creature looks, these ancestors, looks down upon you and says, it has been so long since I have seen one such as yourself. So beautiful. And now this creature bows its head to you. And yes, I think you may yet be worthy. And I will aid where I can. But this journey is a difficult one that must be done alone. Now, let's climb. And this panther begins to kind of dart up this tree. And as you're at the base of this tree, what was just like a pretty regular, probably like 20, 30 foot tree, now just seems to extend on forever. Like it's almost as like you look down for a second and you look back up and it's like nearly infinite.
Mr. Panther, I don't mean to stop you from what you're getting ready to show us what to do, but I mean, it's something I just sort of, I mean, with my family and, and trying to
We've
be
got
sort
time
of-
for Q&As.
Do we?
Can you at least tell us your name?
I have had so many names.
We've heard this before.
So many names. But you can call me a Dembe.
Would say is standing there next to the two of you, and again, you guys are both over 6 foot.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
a strong 4'8". But you see, when I climb the tree, it's just like a spider monkey, though.
Incredible.
like
Incredible.
bouncing from branch to branch.
Absolutely
Must
amazing.
be
Yeah.
nice to be little and limber. And I begin to climb in heavy plate.
Oh. Can we just fly our mounts up and have the mount drop us off at the top?
I will say actually okay. As you
It
begin
feels
to
like the climb is part of it.
as you begin to climb,
Okay.
you feel there is like a resistance. So any of you who, actually all of you, because you all have sort of innate magic, you feel there is like a resistance to that magic. Almost like the further you climb, the more of that you have to leave behind. But it's not aggressive. It is like, it's almost like as if the tree is asking you to make a choice.
Ooh.
Like you choose to leave behind your magic and you can proceed, or you like must stay where you are. That's like the kind of the choice that is offered to you.
Yeah.
And we sense this inside,
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah. And it's
Okay.
like a very like individual and personal. And what I will say is actually there's a familiarity to you personally. Like as if something that you know well is asking you very kindly
Yeah.
for this.
I think internally, Tiwa will turn, and again, I think her self-conception so formed by like ships and sailing and trade, and it's seen as a resource, and the merchants trade in resources. She treats her magic like the tide and tries to coax it back in a way and pushes it from her.
I think as you're climbing kind of every new branch that you get up to, I think as this almost like this like wave is like washing over you, you can see the armor starts to like almost like crack and then sort of like turns into like mist
Ugh.
and falls away from your body.
She is sobbing and happily climbing, unencumbered for the first time in years.
Yeah, and I think you start to move with like a swiftness that like you haven't felt in so long.
Yeah.
There's like a lightness to your like soul that you're suddenly finding as you're being raised up. And I think I would say even it feels like something is now pulling you up.
Yeah.
And I will say that like you are like darting spider monkey style, but as Tiwa is the first to kind of embrace what this tree is asking, you see Tiwa begins to like float and then disappears.
I become a luck dragon and enter a different campaign.
Yeah. Just a fully different
I just
campaign.
We're sort of watching Tiwa and like her clothes and encumberments are falling off.
I don't think you see any physical change.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So
This is like a very personal thing that's happening. But you can you still get a sense that there's like a newfound lightness to Tiwa. So the two of you look over as you see all of Tiwa's clothes remains the same. Everything is still as it was, but you see almost like a hand has like lifted Tiwa up and out of your vision. And we're going to use that opportunity to take a break.
Break time.
We'll be back very shortly.
Don't go nowheres.
Don't go anywhere, please.
Next up, death.
And we're back for more adventures in Wakandell. You have just seen one of your mighty trio ascend the tree.
Mm-hmm.
You feel within you this same sort of familial touch that is welcoming you, inviting you to give up your innate magic and also ascend. What are you to do? This is a very like personal sort of moment.
All right. Well, Sha'So watches as Tiwa ascends up this tree. And as she's sort of struggling to climb with her great axe and her staff and her war gong all attached to her.
I imagine that you're like getting up on a branch, pulling everything up, putting it down.
Yes.
Then you go up and then pull it up, and it's just like it's
And at the same time, there's the background.
You can tell that's the frustrated laugh, though. I feel like you know the bearded dragon well enough that like there's like full emotions laced into all of these laughs, right?
Yes. Yes, it's part of it. It's definitely
absolutely,
part of it.
yeah.
Definitely
And
part of the
it's feeling the frustration with you in this moment.
Yes, that's what it is, and it's bolstering her
Absolutely.
a little bit
yeah,
somehow.
Yeah.
And as she's climbing the tree, all of a sudden, a vision just appears in front of her face. And it's an older woman that she doesn't recognize, but there's something familiar about the woman. It's just, in her mind, she just says, "Who are you?" And this woman says, "Child, you don't know me, but I know you very well. I am your father's great-great-grandmother. And I know that you are a child of the Nazar, and you wish to grasp lightning bolts in your palms and fight shoulder to shoulder with the gods. But my child, you are like me. You are a phoenix. You are meant to rise and cast the powers of fire. So stand strong and stand proud, my child, and you will persevere." And then she disappears. And
Incredible.
hearing that makes her more proud that she's different. Like maybe there's a reason why, but she just feels it. And she starts feeling her doubt that she's always had for her abilities fall off her. And she feels lighter and stronger at the same time.
Absolutely incredible. You begin to float up. I don't know if you've used it, but you have inspiration again. That was amazing. You find yourself left on this tree. And I think maybe for you, this might even be the hardest of the three because it's the magic that you possess is so intrinsically tied to who you are as a being that to like strip away your magic would be to lose your inability to change form. So this is like really like a big question for you.
Iṣẹ still hasn't shifted his face, but as he's climbing, all of his clothes start to transform and just seem just completely unassuming studded leather. And he moves in absolute silence, even coming up this tree. And then you suddenly start to hear like a crunch, crunch, crunch as he like kind of looks down and realizes his boots aren't working anymore. And there's a shimmer and a ring that looks like it's got a brain on it appears on his finger. And just looks at it for a second. And then turns and looks out over the valley and says in Sylvan, "I have not perceived beauty in so long. It is my business to seek out and police ugliness. I guard the gates of heaven. I don't know that someone like me should be allowed to enter. Like, looks up the tree and says, and yet, someone must guard them while they sleep. Perhaps my companions will be worthy of something more than I. And I actually don't rise. I keep climbing.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah. I do let the magic fall away.
You let the magic fall, but you kind of actively choose to continue climbing rather than ascending.
Yep.
Incredible.
Shmont, your mic a little closer. It's a little low.
And okay, so eventually you do make your way up, and we'll start with you. We'll stay with you. You find yourself you're climbing, and I think you almost get to a point where you feel like weary and exhausted, and again, like losing all of that innate power within you. Like it kind of feels like you're coming down from like a high that you've been on. You are like climbing, you're barely even looking where you're going, and you clasp like a ledge, and I think you pull yourself up, and there is someone in front of you, someone familiar in front of you. An ancestor of yours stands in front of you. What do you think they look like? What form maybe do they present themselves to you as they too are probably a changeling?
I'm going to say they actually also have their changeling face as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's off-putting because I've never seen it.
Sure, yeah.
And I immediately just instinctively try and change and then realize I can't. And I look down at my hands just sort of like covered in dirt and blisters. And I just say, I hope the things I've done have not interfered with your rest. They were not kind, they were not beautiful, but they were necessary.
I think that you see this sort of semi-amorphous person who is kind of without real identity, walks over to you and places their hands like on yours, and you can feel that kind of like dirt start to kind of fall away underneath this kind of healing presence. And they look at you and they say, there is so much beauty and strength in what is imperfect. You use that which is ugly to make the world a better place. You have embraced something which too many ignore and made it something so powerful. We are very proud of you.
When the time comes, the time when it comes, Grootslung will not survive.
No. And you see like a big smile comes across your ancestor's face and says, no, it will not. Now, you must move quickly. The journey ahead is not simple, and it will test you. Are you ready?
Always.
And remember, should you falter, that is no reflection on you, but we will be here to pick you up. Now go. Your friends will be waiting for you.
With your assistance, I cannot falter.
Amazing. You take off into this sort of purple ethereal fog that is surrounding this kind of clearing that you found yourself in. We get up. You get up to this same ledge again on your own, and you can see now this manifestation of this ancestor that has just spoken to you. And I think it was so perfect. So, but what I will say happens is you, like as you get up to the ledge and you're kind of like, you kind of go to like heave yourself up, this hand comes down, pulls you up and draws you into an embrace. And you feel not warmth, but like fire, like pure heat as you make this contact. And it is like you suddenly feel like this is what it is to live. You know what I mean? To live not in fear of your power, but to embrace your power. And I think that you feel taller, stronger, even though you don't have and possess any of your magic right now. You feel this overwhelming sense of like,
Coming
yeah,
up through.
100%.
Yes. And her eyes actually glow brighter, and her hair, for a quick second, lifts.
Yeah.
She's
And-
standing there.
And then I think your ancestor sort of casts a hand up, and you see this kind of fiery bearded dragon appear and sails off into the mist, and basically it's drawing you to like follow it.
Oh, yes.
Dope.
Do I hear its laugh?
yeah, you do. You hear it. It's a little fiery though.
Yeah,
You know what
I like it.
Can she run after it?
100%. You boom, 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 take
She
off
books right toward it.
right into that same mist. And then finally, you emerge onto this ledge with this newfound lightness. Who do you think you see? Who does Tiwa see in front of them?
Immediately she recognizes this like short, dark-skinned woman with long dreads, the color of like deep sea blue water, run through with thousands of those orange pearls. And she recognizes her as a matriarch of of her tribe, Mother Merchant Abisola.
Absolutely incredible. I think this like hair as well is like full underwater physics right now.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I think
Yes.
I think it extends beyond even your vision. Like it's almost like this ancestor still has like a connection to everyone who's descended from them, and it's like extending out into that mist, and you can feel it kind of. You are kind of almost like, now that you have a physical connection with them, are like drawing on that same connection to your ancestors.
She immediately takes a knee.
I think that like you are like brought up, and I think without saying anything, you feel this inner strength and this kind of almost like unstoppable like force within you. I think it's like you feel like the embodiment of like a tidal wave, as you feel like your ancestor is channeling into you this kind of unrelenting force, and I think you get a vision in your mind of you atop this tidal wave, and the Grootslang are kind of getting like overwhelmed by the ocean and the sea, and it almost feels like something like a premonition or something.
Yeah.
And like, is there anything that you wish to say to your ancestor? And I'll say that you'll, instead of doing it with words, I think that you communicate back through an image.
Oh, you knew I was about to do that too?
Yeah. We knew.
100%. Yeah, she feels that tidal push. And in that same sort of like flow in both directions, she will send back just waves of gratitude. And I think the longer she stands in Abisola's presence, her like plain clothes, now that all of that cursed armor feels gone from her, like little like vestments of like super ornate like robes and scarves, she will just sort of take them off and sends them back with thanks. And that implication of sending those gifts back on the tide is not a rejection of where she's from, but like knowing that wealth and fortune are cyclical and you send them in order to receive them. And she's thanking her ancestors and everyone in her family for understanding and appreciating that her path was different, but she still has felt nothing but love and support from them, and is grateful for an opportunity to prove her worth and the worth of her people on this great stage in a new way. Because I think she's one of the first like big warriors from this tribe.
Incredible. I think as you stand there holding hands with your ancestor, you feel this like coolness like touch at your feet as like a wave rolls past you, and with it comes like a sea mist, like a green sea mist, and that kind of mist then coalesces into like a tunnel for you to follow.
She's gonna touch Abisula's hands to her forehead and just give them a little kiss before like breaking contact and moving forward.
Amazing. So we all now are moving forward. So you find yourself, you walk for, run, however you feel you're embracing this kind of newfound inspiration, to a clearing. All three of you are now there. And I think looking at each other, seeing each other exactly how you left each other, like you're probably still covered in all these kind of dirt and blisters. Like you're still fully adorned with this armor, but like I think you can tell that there is a way that you're seeing yourselves differently. You know, there is a you're holding yourself differently. It is at this point that the panther reappears and says, "We have tested your body, and you have passed. Now, we test your mind." And you hear in your mind, "I am a huge tree, but you will see my fruits only in the night. Who am I?"
I'm a huge train.
Tree.
Tree. Train like choo choo.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
What
Choo-choo, I
What
guess.
mofo? I'm a huge tree.
And you will see my fruits only in the night. Nothing like thinking through a puzzle in real time. This is good radio.
Don't worry, we'll cut this and make it look like you got it
Yay,
real
thanks.
quickly.
3
I was
hours
drinking a
later.
coffee this morning. You see my fruits only at night.
Sorry.
Please, Iṣẹ.
Do we have like a world tree cosmology? Like,
I would say, I think, okay, as you think that thought, the word like cosmology like sits right. It's almost like you kind of, it's something like a gear clicks in your like head. You're like, oh, that was almost like the first part of the lock.
I say this out loud to them. I'm like, the great tree is what everything is built on.
Tiwa will immediately look up, knowing that this is like a liminal space, but still expects to see the night sky. And with you saying that, her eyes immediately move towards where her thoughts were, which was the stars, and trying to put together and make that fit. Though I don't think she's quite there yet.
As you think about seeing the night sky, it erupts into a beautiful, like the most full sky you've probably ever seen in your life, as all of these stars, and it shines down like so much light upon all of you. As you guessed, you got the right answer. It is the sky and the stars. Congratulations, everyone.
We did it!
You did it. You once again, however, find yourself on your own. Now sat with the panther in front of you.
Yeah, that's 100% it.
You're all like,
Team group.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you clap.
Yeah, Tiwa self vibes like
Yeah, right.
it's sadder to leave yourself hanging.
So each of you finds yourself sat in front of a heart-shaped fruit and a seed.
Oh.
And the panther looks at each of you. This is all happening individually, but saying the same thing. With the seed, your newfound power will only be temporary. But you will have the ability to gift this power to whomever Wakandell chooses next. With the herb, you will have this power forever, and gift it to those who come directly after you. Which do you choose?
Tiwa does not
That is
hesitate.
alignment
Say
oriented
also
all
doesn't
the
hesitate,
way.
so please, yeah.
That is alignment oriented.
Yeah, Tiwa does not hesitate. The path that she built for herself was one of service. her goal was to be a Kingsguard and to guard and defend whoever we decided would justly rule. So she will take strength enough to pass the real gift on to the rightful leader of Wakandell. I take the seed.
Take the seed. Okay. Mm-hmm.
For the exact same reason, but a completely different outcome.
Yeah.
Iṣẹ looks and says, we will choose a wise ruler. They will beget who will beget who will beget, who may become unwise. One of mine must always be a blade in the dark. And I take the fruit.
Very, very
Thanks,
cool.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, Sha'So, I mean, she's all about her people. She's all about the Nazari. Her hand immediately goes toward the fruit. And then she stops. She hesitates as she hears her father's voice in her head saying, sometimes we have to make the decisions that we don't want to make. But we're always given the strength to make the right one. Then her hand moves back toward the seed. And then she thinks, but how am I supposed to trust that whomever gets this power is going to use it the right way when, kind of like Iṣẹ, if it's me or one of my people, I will know that the ruler will rule with truth and valor.
I think with this, as your hand, you get like almost directly into the middle.
Yeah.
You feel the panther's like paw on your hand.
Yeah. She looks up
And
at him.
the panther says, if you would like, I will hold this power for you. And I will allow you to bring forth those you think wise enough. And I shall choose with the infinite wisdom of all the ancestors that have come before me.
And Sha'So looks with him, and you see immediate gratitude in her eyes. I am still learning.
And learning well.
And she draws her hand back. I'm willing to let you choose for me.
I think as you draw your hand back, you see this kind of purplish mark, like heart-shaped mark on the back of your hand. And I think it's at this moment, all of you having made a independent and separate decision.
Look at us!
Look at you guys. That worked out well.
I love
it. You all find yourselves at the base of a tree. Exactly as you remember being. Almost as if you've awoken from a dream. Except for you see a glowing fruit in Essay's hands. You see a seed in your hands, Tiwa, and then Sha'So, you see this kind of glowing heart-shaped symbol on the back of your hand. And so just for a little bit of, just to make this extra fun, you can now choose one of your stats and make it a 25.
What are stats?
Incredible.
You can increase your movement speed by 10 feet.
Oh my goodness.
It's so
Okay,
cute
hold on.
here.
And I'll let you just do this real quick.
I
And
just
there's
remember.
I noticed like we all appear and everybody knows exactly what this is, and I just maintain eye contact with Tiwa the entire time. I'm just like, bang. Juice.
Yeah.
I think Tiwa gives you the nod that she doesn't understand the like cycle and the thought process, but she knows what she was told about it and respects that like your line should go on and should have this power, and she understands and nods. And she's like, you are making a mess.
Just
And dab your face with a thing.
wait, do I have my magic back?
You do feel your magic
Anyway,
returning.
I was about to
Magic
say, as she starts to dab,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gone.
I'm
It's
just
gone.
like, but thank you.
All right.
Okay, so
We can
choose a
all do
stat.
magic.
What stat? What stat do I want to choose? I know.
Oh my goodness.
So, Tiwa, you also can feel that you have the ability, you get your armor becomes +2, so you can add a +2 to your armor. As you learn to embrace the imperfections that come with this curse, you also finally discover how you can take it off.
Oh, that's cool. I think there's something in that moment as she's holding the seed and feels that lack of obligation of feeling stuck. And she looks up at the night sky for the first time without fear, remembering the wonder in that space. And her eye is immediately drawn to one small star that you can normally only see out of your periphery, that she makes eye contact with, and it glows green. That blight, that star blight, the source of her curse. And she looks at it directly and understands it and accepts the power as her eyes glow green, and her mouth, every time it opens, like glows with that green light, and her armor lights up.
Absolutely incredible. Iṣẹ, you find yourself, I think in this moment, involuntarily, you find yourself in your true changeling form. And you gain you basically gain the ability to perform a crit once per combat when you are in your true form.
Ah, cool.
So you have to be in your true changeling form, but you gain 1 crit per combat.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Tight.
And then finally, Sha'So, you can feel this fire burning inside of you, and you can feel yourself like falling into a rage.
She's gonna kick somebody's ass.
Yeah, but your magic doesn't leave you. You can now maintain concentration whilst in a rage.
Oh my god, that was so inspiring. Thank you.
You
He's
said
a benevolent god.
You said all of this out loud, and I just want you to know you're going to deeply regret it here.
Never.
Speaking of,
Like, really? You're not joking?
we are going to smash cut.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that, like, we, the audience, will arrive before you do.
Can I
Please.
just make
Of course.
one very
Of
minor
course.
flavor thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
As this happens, my eyes again are just completely white. They're pools of white. They just shimmer and turn purple when I eat the fruit.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, for sure. I think all of you now have, like, the edges of everything is just like there's a little hue of purple.
We
in
love
there.
it.
There's like a little
Yes.
and so we're gonna smash cut over to the floating mountains. So to paint the picture for you, what we have is almost like an arena of different land masses. These kind of areas of floating rock, all centered around a large pool. It is also a rock that with water flowing down the sides of it and dropping down what seems to be, and what you would know as what is apparently an endless drop. There is nothing underneath this landmass. It is said that if a warrior falls from here, they can never move on. They can never ascend. They will basically fall forever and ever and ever. And that is the fate that is a kind of almost like the choice that they make by entering this place, and they make by electing to fight and prove their worthiness. Stakes. You can see, you at home can see they cannot, on these rocks that float around this one central landmass, there is nearly seemingly like an infinite amount of people as the nation of Wakandell is gathered in this place. In the center of this pool, you can see curled up this huge snake. Probably now some 80 feet in length. It's grown substantially. And it's just resting its head like in the pool of water. And like the eyes are probably just at the top doing the kind of crocodile stare. And as the people of Wakandell, they shift uncomfortably, you see a few warriors sort of getting restless because it is extremely late in the day. You know, the 3 days is very nearly up, and you see a few of the warriors kind of having arguments, wanting to throw themselves in the ring, you know, thinking that these 3 that were promised by Abede will never come. And it is at that point that you 3 arrive on the back of your steeds.
Yeah.
And sort of Street Fighter style land in this arena. What would the 3 of you like to do or say? You are given a moment to address the people of Wakandell.
To address the people of Wakanda.
And I think you also as well, like when you land, everyone, like the people, they're like, oh, we've had a glow up over here. Like, something is like these 3.
Okay.
These 3 were decent, but no, like now, like I'm seeing there's some changes here. You know what I mean? So I'll say there's definitely like a bit of a stunned silence, and you find that your voice naturally is just emanating in this place. It's almost like you're at that like fulcrum point where you don't even have to project, and your voice will travel. Is there anything that you 3 would like to say?
Holding my glaive, I'm going to use the button to nudge Sha'So forward.
Oh, gosh.
To give her a moment to begin.
Sha'So's, first she jumps, but then she inhales, her eyes flash, and she steps forward and she says,
Show them who you are.
the good people of Wakandell, you may not have expected us, but we are here to represent you and stand for you and fight for you. Like I said, you may not have known a lot about what each of us stand for. But Tiwa, Iṣẹ, and myself, we are the very lifeblood of Wakanda. We are the water that flows and feeds its people. We are everything around us that helps to keep things together. And we are the fire that burns in all of our souls. So the 3 of us stand here. Groot Slang, you have met your match. Come forth.
As it brings its head up, and you can hear, Sha'So!
Sha'So! She starts twerking. Like She-Hulk. No, just kidding.
I'm over here like, after.
In the back.
Just keeps going.
When it's rising up like this, and she has taunted it so thoroughly, you see, I walk forward again, looking like this very small little changeling. And I walk forward right to where he is. And when we had that vision, and I look at him and I say, you were not always like this. You are great and terrible. And yet you will meet your death today. You will cast your body. You will fall for all time. So we offer you this one opportunity to remember who you were. And I turn into the person that crawled out of the water.
Whoa!
That's a flex. That's a flex right there.
Yeah, and I just stand there.
Roll me some persuasion.
This is good.
That's so good.
I'm gonna say it right now. This is not like this is not gonna end the combat, but we might have some situation here.
Oh, it literally was on the natural 20 again and rolled to the 14 again for 24.
Again!
This is all
Your dice know
I'm not
one number.
24.
I'm not making this up. Yeah.
This thing looks down at you, and there is a flash of humanity, whatever is left of it, behind this creature's eyes. And you hear a small, like, child's voice in your minds as you hear I only ever wanted to do what was correct. Only ever. And then there is like this kind of a low rumble, as that child, that whatever was left, is crushed. Like it is, like it is almost as if whatever the part of this entity is immediately rejects and completely dispels that small part of like weakness that it had within it. But you kind of get that like little sense that there was once a desire to do the right thing, even if it's lost that now.
We'll say just standing there and seeing this in its eyes, without breaking eye contact, I just say, "There's nothing left." Fine, and turn back into the changeling, and literally turn my back on it, like I'm not afraid at all.
Yeah.
And walk back towards the group.
Awesome.
It's so sad. I know.
Yeah.
Is there anything that Tiwa would like to say?
Tiwa will step forward and she like bangs the butt of her glaive on the ground once, and all of that green light turns to purple, and she'll level it single-handed, this incredibly heavy, vicious-looking weapon at the thing that sits before her and says, "Death to those who would destroy Wakanda for spite and fear. Witness this."
Heck yes. And we all know what's coming next. Everyone go ahead and roll me initiative.
I love initiative. Ooh, your girl's got advantage on initiative and a +5.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have something similar.
Look, but she's gonna roll bad, so there's that.
Don't say it out loud. Don't jinx
Woo.
it. You're
Okay,
due.
okay,
You're
okay.
due.
All of that work to get to a dirty 20.
Hey, could be worse.
Unfortunate.
Could be worse.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, no, we did this wrong.
Break it down.
Break it down.
Break it down now.
Take it back now, y'all.
Last time you just forward.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
It added it up.
Okay, so we had a dirty 20 for Tiwa.
Correct.
yes, you saw. Dirty 20 for me too.
Oh, amazing.
Well, you go first because your dex is probably higher. What's
No,
your
my dex is only a +1. Go for it.
+1.
I will defer to the princess.
Okay.
Where are you? Okay. You're the sneaky one.
I'm guessing you're a 24?
You know,
I'm assuming 28.
The 12. You know,
12, half.
I'm busy being dramatic.
Yeah, it's half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me just make sure I've got that down there.
I also had advantage and +7 in the
Dang.
twin.
You hate to see it.
Wow.
I rolled for narrative, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're trying
yeah,
to tell
yeah,
a story.
yeah.
So fine.
You're the
So
story.
fine.
I want you guys to get to do cool stuff.
Oh my god, thank you. Not gonna.
Okay. So up first, you find yourself. I will say probably about 40 feet away.
40.
You're in sort of shallow water. You kind of go to move off to do whatever you're about to do, Sha'So. But you see this creature at the top of the initiative, at this the top of the initiative. The tail comes up and it hits the water with like huge force, and out of it you can see these kind of entities rise up. They're made of pure water and they take on the features of sort of previous people from the different tribes that you see around. And like for free, you know that these are people who have felt like aggrieved or wronged. Like there is like people who have been unable to move on, like to find peace with the other ancestors. Like almost like bringing. It's bringing back these kind of like negative sort of energies, and probably about 10 kind of appear in between you and the Rootslinger.
Amazing.
Oh, wow. So there's 10 water creatures.
Yes.
And then there's Grootslang in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle of this pool. Yeah.
And we're just like...
And I'll say you're about 20 feet from the edge, 40 feet from the Grootslinger. So effectively, this platform is like a 60, the 60 feet across. Oh, sorry, 60 feet to the middle, so 120 feet.
I actually look at the two of them, especially because they're moving so quickly and all these come out of the water. And I just say, my sisters, you are fearsome. But would you like me to clear the path?
I'm actually going to say, probably because of where you walked to, you're probably like, these things come up in between you and the other two.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
you're like, the
wow.
Glutslanger's like right below, like right behind you, and
Got
then
it.
these things like come up almost like in your face.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Sha'So is just going to say, "We have come to fight." And as she says that, she looks at him and she squints like through these water creatures, like unafraid. She squints at him and says, "We will be fighting fire with fire." And of course, we're gonna start this with a fireball.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
I want to make sure that I don't hit my peoples here.
Sure.
How far away are we? We're near each other.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that you with where they are you aiming for the Glutslanger or are you aiming for these creatures?
Yes, everybody burns.
Oh, interesting.
Every-
We're in the center of everybody.
So I will
Definitely
so,
in the middle, yeah.
so I will say this. I will say you can get both. You can get 5 of these creatures and the Glutslanger, but you'll also get Iṣẹ, or you can get just the Glutslanger or just the creatures. So if you want to hit both of them, because Iṣẹ is like in the middle, like in between them currently, you've got to hit like either all 3 or like one of. You know what I mean? In the way you position
Well,
it.
Do you have spell sculpting?
I'm
sorry.
Yeah.
Cut that part.
I was gonna say. Yes, my sister. She actually
My bad.
she feels this well of magic, and she hears something in her. She's like, here's Tiwa's voice. You know, as she always has saying, "You know what to do."
You just fully see Aabria,
Yeah,
Abria's
just
face
Aabria
in
going,
your mind.
Hey, girl, what you doing over there?
Did you know?
Don't let me come over there.
Abria is just now in canon
Yeah,
one of your
perfect,
ancestors
perfect.
who's
It's
just like
Aabria.
there to
You
help
gonna
you.
make?
And she's like, brother, I've got you. And Cat uses the sorcery point. Careful.
Mhm.
Fireball.
Heck
He
yes.
doesn't flinch, but I will say, as the flames erupt, you see his face changes back to what they're normally accustomed to.
Amazing.
Stays there in the middle. Yeah.
I think there's like a split second where you're like, huh? And then the flames just go around you.
It's sort of like
Like
a
a cylinder.
Yeah, you're like,
Okay, no, it's fine.
be cool, but it's fine.
I love this. And this is great because it's my elemental affinity. So I automatically get a +2 to damage.
Let's go.
Ooh.
And because I'm not that close enough, so I'm not going to use that. Okay, that's fine. Let's do this.
That's 15 for them.
Oh, I love that
That was a
sound. It's
lot
my-
of dice.
30.
30?
30 damage.
Ooh, okay.
It is like everything she's ever felt. And, she's feeling bolstered by being faced with this ancestor that was like her and, standing with her two besties right now, or BFFs, and just the people of Wakandell. She just lets forth with everything she's held back before.
So the 5 of these creatures that you hit are like cooked, like straight up, like
Bacon.
The water that they are made of immediately begins to boil, and they lose it's almost like they lose the hold over their form.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like disintegrate down into the water. You see the Glutslanger like reels its head, like it kind of you hit it like bang on its head. It reels its head back, and it kind of manages to shake off like some of the damage as it uses one of its legendary resistances because it rolled a 7.
Banes.
Wow.
But still did some damage, and obviously that means one of its legendary resistances is gone.
We do love
We
that.
do
Yes,
love that.
I love
Do
a good
you want
fireball.
to move or do anything else? Is there anything else that you can do?
No, in fact, she's going to hold position while I reacclimate myself to things I can do.
Heck yeah.
That's a real mood.
That's a valid choice.
Okay.
That's a valid
Yeah.
choice.
A lot to take
Tiwa.
Yeah. Tiwa is used to our sort of fight pattern that you do these big effects and they don't work when people scatter. So she's going to move into the center to make sure that she's 30 feet away from the Glutslanger and whatever of the water.
I'll say that's cleared a gap in the middle of them, so you can get through these creatures without getting opportunity attacks.
Cool. I just want to be in the center of them and use my bonus action channel Divinity Champions Challenge. I need every enemy around me within 30 feet in any direction to make a wisdom save, or they can't leave 30 feet
Like they can't get farther than 30 feet away. We're keeping it close quarters.
Okay, this is a big roll, everyone. Because there's a thing that this Grootslanger wants to do, and might not be able to do if it fails his roll. So let me roll for these. Let's roll for these little boys first.
Little boys.
There's 3 on one side of you, 2 on the other, and they roll like hot garbage. That is a 2, a 3, a 10, an 8, and a 4.
Can we?
So
can we
all of them are very compelled.
Yeah, can we
Eat it.
flavor that with like that water that like a little pulse of tide like grabs them and starts pulling them in?
There's like a purple pulse like kind of goes out and then connects to them, and you can feel them like being unable to draw away from you. So all 5 of them can't move more than 30 feet away. And I'm gonna roll on one of these dice to determine what happens to. Is it what's this, Dex?
This is a wisdom
save. What do we have for wisdom? We have terrible. We have terrible is what we have. And what's the DC?
18.
18.
Come on.
That is an 8 plus 4 for a 12. The Grootslanger cannot move more than 30 feet away from you.
As that same like tidal like pulls out and she feels it attached to all of them and isn't like dragging them closer, but they feel that like sense like she is the moon to their like tidal waters. Like,
Heck yeah.
stay and fight. This is what you wanted.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And then for my action, I would love to do
Cool. That was bonus.
That was bonus action.
That was great.
Action. I would like to go up and do a hit on the bad boy with my glaive.
Please hit the bad boy.
Hooray! Ooh, the dice disagreeing with my dreams. Wait, can I use my inspiration?
Yes, you certainly can.
Let's try that
That would
one
be a
more
good
time.
time.
There we go. 29 to hit.
29?
Nice.
Yeah.
That doesn't. No,
Nice.
I don't.
Cool.
I know. Like,
that
so we're
hits.
leaving. I'm just gonna jump. I'll take my chances falling forever.
Yeah,
You know?
If a 29 doesn't hit, I'm out. I'm
29
done.
doesn't make it, yeah.
For a whopping 9 points of damage, but let's expend some. We're gonna expend a high level spell slot to put some
Yup.
smites on it,
Do it.
and I get an extra one for improved divine smite.
By chance, is he a fiend?
Ba, 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 ba,
Please do this
ba.
math for me. You're not gonna.
What is? No.
Presumably not undead either.
No.
Got it.
So 34 off the first hit. Ooh. And we get 2 attacks. Let's do it again.
So was it? Sorry, 30.
A 39 on the first hit
Wow. I mean,
of ouch damage, and then a 26 to hit the second time.
yep.
We'll burn another big slot.
Okay, so that is going to be. Okay.
Yeah.
For another 31 points of damage.
Okay, let's
Coming in for a hot
it.
70 to get it started.
Let's
Everyone
That's what we're
stay.
here for.
Yeah.
it. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Hey, I like being a
we're
paladin.
out to play around. Okay. I like this. It is, however, now the Rootslanger's turn.
The clothes.
The Grootslanger kind of, you see, goes to like bury its head into the water, and like you can see it like resist, like kind of fighting against that resistance that you put on it, and doesn't like go anywhere. Instead, flicks up, looks incredibly furious, and is going to lunge forward to try to bite at you, Issei. And we are. This is.
I got
gonna
a
be-
little question.
What's your AC? Just out of interest.
Highly variable. But wait, what's your question?
It might be a moot point because this thing is very big, but I was in melee range with it. Is it going to leave my threatened area to attack Sha'So?
Interesting. Is it going to leave?
I'm fine with it being like it's so long.
Do you know what?
that it
You've
can
made like a
move.
really good point. I think
Yep.
it's going to attack you instead. Yeah.
Fair. That's
Like,
also
yeah.
fair and bad.
Like,
no,
yeah.
I can go. No, you can attack her.
Dang it.
Alright.
You can attack her. You know what? I
Starts
rescind my
and then
point.
goes, oh, never mind.
Decisions have been made.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
Interesting.
Okay.
It's currently 20, but can go higher if I'm going to get hit at 20.
Sure. Well, I'm going to say that it's actually going to take its first attack on you.
Yeah, that's fair.
As these tusks come down upon you, that's a 27 to hit, which I'm assuming hits.
yeah, that hits the moon, dog.
And I'm gonna need. No, I'm not gonna need that. I'm gonna need. That's a 33 points of damage. Yes. However, the tail is going to whip out at you because this thing is some 80 feet long, so it's more than enough tail to snake around without leaving your space. Let's see what the tail
Currently
gets.
20 with can go higher.
Okay, cool. Let's see what we get. Ooh, the can go higher might actually, let me see, not
Unfortunate.
matter. It's a 23.
I'm gonna put up my shield and my AC will go to 25.
Let's
So
go.
as the tail comes towards me, just a purple field of light
shit.
appears in front of me with the face of a panther on it.
Oh, I'm gonna say the panther even like bites
Let's
onto the
go.
tail. I'll say the panther like bites onto the tail and is like almost like holds it there for a second before it dissipates. Absolutely incredible. Okay, it's not gonna move. It has one more attack, but it probably can't. Joyce is going to make another tail attack against you, which is probably ill-advised because you have shield, but, you know.
We're gonna find out.
We're going to find out.
F around and find out.
Nothing like remembering, like, oh, I have shield.
That is
27.
that is,
And
however,
now, wait a
29.
minute.
Nope,
Ouch.
okay,
That's a
take
29.
Why
So
would
that's going to hit.
Jasper, why are you hitting us?
Oh, because I gave you lots of toys, so I get toys too?
No,
That's not how any of this works.
That's how it works.
completely valid.
No.
That's how it works.
Our victory's not glorious.
27 points of damage.
Disagree.
Basically, I think what happens here is like the tail smashes into this shield, and this panther like bites out it, and the tail then rears back and like hits through again and punches straight through the shield. The shield kind of like shatters, and you just get like pummeled down, like you find yourself like underwater for a second, like, and you have to like bring yourself back up out of the water, as this thing bodies you.
Unfortunate.
However, it is now your turn. Iṣẹ.
You just come out of the water, and you see he actually starts trailing his fingers in the water, doing this like odd dance that doesn't really make sense for a creature that has bones. It's like very,
Damn, he's breaking it down now.
This is just so
Get it.
wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, imagine what you can twerk, how you can twerk when you don't have a spine.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
He draws the scimitar as I activate the blade song.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you see he actually starts to like shimmer a little bit as I activate haste.
Whoa!
Now,
We came to play.
To
Let's
be
go.
clear, with my crit, do I need to roll and I then do double damage, or I have an automatic 20?
Once you've rolled, you can then choose to turn it into a crit. So once you've hit, you can choose to turn that into a crit.
First. Okay. So I'm going to use my haste attack that I still have to like take a swing at him. My rolls have become garbage, so I'm going to cash in my advantage.
Do it.
My inspiration, rather.
Nice.
Because it was a dirty 20, but we can do much better than that.
Come on, baby.
Jeez, the gravy train has run out. The highest I got was a dirty 20.
Unfortunately, that does not hit.
Oh, no.
I think you summon, as you pull the scimitar, and I think as you lunge forward, I think one of these these like watery kind of projections almost like jumps in the way, not to like get in the way of the attack, but to like put you off. And in that like split second where you hesitate, the tail kind of retracts out of the way and you can't find purchase on it.
No problem.
Amazing.
But that was hella dope.
Yeah,
That's very
I got something for him though. No.
Okay. Okay. Is that your turn?
That is. I'm just making sure that there was nothing else that I'm like losing track of, because a bunch of the stuff that I can do don't show up in the stats. So, yep, nope, that's it.
Okay, it is going to use one of its legendary actions now. So it's going to make an attack, and let me see if I hit first. Oh, what? That is...
The disgust on its tip.
No, that's not enough to
Is
hit.
it attacking me or someone else?
No,
Yeah.
that was to hit you, and it failed! Lame!
I just want to say out loud, my AC is currently 32.
What?
Unreal.
That's wild.
That's buck wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm taking it as a personal challenge to hit you now.
Okay.
Again, I cannot take many hits when they arrive.
When they arrive, but
You know, yeah.
okay, it is now these watery creatures, these watery projections, it is their turn. They are going to take, I'm going to say, 2 attacks on you. 2 attacks on you, 1 attack on you.
Copy that.
From the 5 that are remaining. Let's see how they do. The first 2, that is an 18, what is this, plus 5, so that's a 23 and a 17 to hit you.
Again, I don't.
Oh,
even
yeah,
look
it's
at them.
30.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
Oh
Sorry,
my
I
God.
completely
Literally
forgot.
with this, that isn't even enough to touch me without it. You know, it's this odd dance I'm doing. I'm
Mhm,
just like
mhm.
not there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
Look at
That's
that.
so
Yeah. Then it is an 18 and a 23 to hit you.
They both hit, and you see, like, okay, so Sha'So is watching Iṣẹ and sees that he's able to dodge it, so she starts to like copy him, but it doesn't
You just
work.
move like fully in the way of one of these watering
Like,
blades,
right,
just like
boom, ow,
crashes
boom,
down on your
ow,
head.
bad
You're
vibes.
like,
Yeah.
Sha'So, you still have hip bones. No,
Yeah.
Still have a hip bone.
They don't lie, but they are getting hit. As you take a total of 14 points of damage. They're not super strong, but I do, however, need a wisdom saving throw from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have a reaction. Should I do that now or upon my turn?
As in, like, a reaction to aid you?
Taking damage. 'Cause I have a
Oh,
special
yeah.
item.
100%, yeah. You can, if you want to reduce any damage or whatever, you can do that.
Okay, should I do that now
Yeah,
or
yeah,
should I
yeah,
do the
do
wisdom
that.
throw now?
No,
The
no,
wisdom-
yeah. Do that now. Do the
Wisdom.
whatever that is, and then we'll do the wisdom
Okay.
save.
The paladin's cry. Is
Let's
Sha'So
see.
within 10 feet of me?
My wisdom
You ran
is-
forward
I ran
specifically. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't, not
so
within
no.
10 feet.
Okay.
No, unfortunately not.
Stay close!
I get to throw.
Paladin aura!
Aabria reappears in your
Yeah.
mind.
Ah.
Stay close.
Although,
18.
Because she came close enough to engage the creature, she's near me, right? Like,
Yes.
Am I within range?
Yeah. So you're within range. Yeah.
So don't forget, if you'll buy me, you have a +5.
If
Well,
you
you'll
will
say.
buy
Oh,
me.
that's right.
Yeah. It's okay, it's okay.
That was an 18 for me on the wisdom.
Oh, that's great.
18 on the wisdom
Mhm.
is a success, so nothing happens.
All right. Well, I would like to. So, if I can do my reaction right now, as she does take the damage, the quarterstaff that she carries, it's black, gleaming, but at the top there's a gold fist, and it starts to open up into a hand shape. And when it does, it just sort of points. And as it points, she is able to cast Eldritch Escape, which
Whoa.
means she can turn invisible and teleport herself. So she'd like to turn invisible, and she's going to teleport herself closer to Tiwa.
Amazing.
Delightful.
Yeah, what an incredible move.
And she's invisible until the start of her next turn.
So yeah, okay, perfect. We see Sha'So just fully disappears.
See you later.
I will, however, say that, like, you notice, and I probably, the Grutslanger will notice, because it has a, let me just double check what its passive perception is, 26. So
boy.
you do notice it's like 2 splashes, like in the water, like next to you. But you do piece out of there without taking any attacks of opportunity.
I try to jump in the puddle simultaneously, but it's obvious that it's another jump. Hell.
You've seen this move before, and you're trying to, yeah. That's so funny. John, give me a deception.
Oh no.
This is like a super high DC, but it'd be
Can I
hilarious.
please
to
roll a
work.
disadvantage?
Yeah.
I want it to go badly. Well, all right, dice, calm down. 17.
I'll say it's not bad, but the Grutslanger just looks down at you and goes. The snake shrugs somehow. Imagine a snake with shoulders,
Yeah.
if you will.
You gotta try.
I respect the hustle.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. Why are we?
Okay.
Okay.
It is now back to the top of the round.
Huzzah.
At the top of the round, you see the Grutslanger now in pure frustration. You saw it was like trying to like almost like burrow before. It now rears its head up as high as it could possibly go and slams its tusk into the rock that you're on, and you feel the rock like there's like a shattering sound underneath your feet, and the whole rock is like wobbling.
Yeah.
Basically.
No. That's all.
Okay,
Nope.
fine, sorry.
I take a little water bottle out,
No,
spritz him
yeah.
on the nose. No.
Got it.
Just
Don't
takes-
send us to
Just
oblivion.
takes his
Yeah.
elephant trunk and just full like water cannons you and like.
Fair.
Awesome. It is now Sha'So's turn.
Oh, goodness. And she's just conveniently teleported herself closer to Tiwa. So we have what
Yes.
because I'm closer to you now?
You have a +5 to all your saves.
Mhm.
And you can't be frightened for what that's worth.
I'm not
Inevitably
scared.
Never scared.
All right. Yes, Amy. She's going to. How close are we to the dude now?
Oh, you're like right there. Like
We're right
this,
there
this,
now?
this,
Yeah,
this
we're in
big,
melee.
'Cause you
this big
meleeed him,
ugly
yes, right.
elephant.
Perfectly perfect.
Yeah, is right there.
She's going to appear
Mhm.
standing strong.
Oh, where did you
Great.
come from?
No, great ass. Great ass.
Great
Oh
ass.
man, it is.
That's
I
incredible.
part-
did this as many
That
times.
part.
Like you see a whole like the whole collection behind just like the three of you now is just like as you appear and sees all three asses together, the whole section just goes dang.
And they take 10 points radiant damage.
Yeah. Oh, this whole bank of Wakandell feels
Yeah.
they have inspiration now.
I've got disadvantage
Yeah.
on spells
Yeah.
from the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's hard being me. Yeah.
That's great.
Right.
That's important, actually.
That's actually perfect, and I'm going to steal that. She has her great axe becomes what is called a grasp axe, and the hands of the blades unfurl. And she says to Groot, "These hands giveth, and these hands taketh away. Now catch these hands."
Yeah.
And she's raging.
Let's
and
go.
Since let's start with the numbers here. She is, because she's less than 10 feet away from Groot, he's going to take, oh goodness, because she's standing close to him. It's part of her storm. It's part of the desert aura.
Amazing.
He's going to take 3 fire damage to take that
Okay.
right away just from being close to her.
Yep.
You're
And-
too flat.
She's just going to jump up and swing at
Do
it.
Might I make
If she
a suggestion?
can. What?
Might I make a suggestion?
Yes, you may.
Reckless attack. You're a barbarian. Go
Yeah, let's go.
Now in your mind you see
That's true,
B-Dave,
because he-
B-Dave Walters' face just
Oh,
yes,
appears.
good.
Yeah, she hears
Very
she,
politely.
That's right. That's right. She hears it in her head. And she hears it.
Aabria's head scooches over.
Right, exactly.
Take it to the moon, girl. You got a great ass.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Ooh, can I say that's a 25 to hit plus 2? That's 27 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that'll
this is
probably
the
hit.
first one, babe. So this is. Let me see. What? Okay, wait.
Yep.
7 plus 2, 9 plus. That's it, I think. Yeah. So that's 7 points, 8 points, 9 points of damage.
Sick. Okay.
Hit number 1. And she's just basically she's doing a 1-2. And the hands, they literally, when she swings this axe, they're sharp.
Mhm.
So they scratch, like they slash. Like the axe has like a slashing sort of situation. So, oh goodness. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 to hit.
Does not hit.
What?
Yeah, wild. This thing is moving with a preternatural speed. You scratch it once, and it reels up out of the way, and then just fully like duck and weaves underneath your next attack. Just like,
Ooh.
oh,
Oh
can't
no,
catch
you
me.
didn't.
Oh
And
yeah, I
she
did.
says-
He's too sassy to kill.
That's right. The power of the sass is strong with me.
I don't like you.
Well, I don't like you guys either.
That's fair.
That's fair. I can't let you live.
All right, that's all I can do for now.
Okay. Amazing. It is going to use a legendary action to try and actually do a cool thing. Let's see if it can do a cool thing.
Please don't.
What the?
Hey, for all of you out there, that's a natural one. That's a natural one.
Oh, I just so you know, we didn't need clarification on Brea.
Hey.
Important.
Yeah, it was one.
Important. Yeah.
It was one.
Don't take that out. Here, I'm gonna mess it up. So the edit. If you see that I'm making moves, it's because he cut out something that you were supposed to see. Right.
That's
I'm gonna
very
cut it
funny.
out now just to make that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
you know
just to
what I mean?
make that
Like, it
part
has-
weird.
Clock behind me the minute it's moving forwards and backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, that's not happening, I guess. Tiwa.
Cool. Let's do ouches. That's my favorite thing to do. I'm gonna do them
I'm
very
immune
hard.
to ouches.
I don't think that's true.
You're
We
correct.
both actually load a smite in our bodies. We'll talk about what it is later when I remember to come back and do it in case I forget. 2 hits with our big mean stick. A natural 2 is not going to do it.
Oh, I thought
for
it was a natural
15.
20 then. From my angle,
it's right next to
my
it?
angle, that's a
Yeah.
natural 20.
Yeah.
And I was like, uh-oh.
What if it was the opposite of natural 20? Cool. And then the second one's a 22 to
Ooh.
hit.
Nope.
Oof. Both are bad. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
I think that like what's happening in this next round, you can see this creature like having you all close to it and all like in front of it is starting to like feel like emboldened, like it's kind of seeing what you're throwing at it and it's like weathering the storm enough that it's like becoming like confident and is like batting away like your attacks.
It's like Mayweather, it's down like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Then I'm going to bonus action Shield of Faith to Sha'So. As I like take a step closer to those invisible splashes. Who could say what they are?
Yeah.
Who could know?
Who knew what those invisible splashes were?
But get within 5 feet, and now your AC is bumped up by 2.
Ooh, nice. That will be helpful
Nice.
because it is
Don't
the
let me forget
Grootslanger's
that.
turn.
No,
It's gonna make an attack. Come the hell.
Thank you, Tiwa.
23.
I'll cast a reaction shield. AC goes up to 27.
Does he make that face? Does this thing
Yeah.
make that face?
The Grootslanger immediately looks to the camera.
Yeah.
It's a stank face.
I
Like,
don't know.
As he misses, I'm like, it'd be that way sometimes.
It's going after you now.
Currently 27, but can go higher.
Okay.
ooh.
Bro, these dice are bad.
Yeah, this one's
Yeah,
not
Dawn,
very-
you gotta
The
take. You need a
snake on
nap.
your dice jam?
Okay,
That
I'm
too.
pulling out the Black Lives Matter dice,
Oh.
which, like, in
That
this
skill's gonna roll for
scenario,
us. It's gonna roll for us.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
you're attacking
see.
our Black Lives. What are
We'll
you doing?
see.
I'm gonna.
Here we go, and this one is for you.
I know. That's why I'm
Sha'So.
eyeing it like.
That's still a 26.
Okay, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, that
That hits?
Hi.
Did that help?
Good.
Did my spell help? No.
You're raging, so it's only half.
Interesting.
26 points of damage as it
Oh.
hits you with
Hold
its with its tusks.
Actually,
All right. I would like to, of course, again.
oh, hold on.
Why are you adjusting your glasses?
Actually,
What's
I'm
happening?
going to
What?
use my Vigilant Guardian. Oh, shoot, I can't see you.
No, she appeared.
No, yeah.
No, I beg you
yeah,
when I.
that's when we
Perfect.
appeared, yeah.
Now that I can see you,
Yay.
I'm going to use Vigilant Guardian. So within a creature within 5 feet of me gets hit with an attack, I'll use. Oh, I already burned my reaction. Never mind. I was gonna swap and take your damage. I apologize.
Wait, when did you use the reaction? On what?
To cast shield on myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Right,
Thank
that
you
was
very
a
My
much.
bad.
Thank
Cut out
you.
all of this cool part
Thank
and go
you.
back to the fun
She's
show.
a giant bag of hit points, though.
I understand.
That's
That's
true.
right, dude. That's true.
This is what I do. I guard royalty.
Yeah,
I
she's
do the
just my
gods.
big sister.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. But I don't got you now.
Yeah,
anyway.
Anyway.
I just go, yeah.
girl.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I felt that.
ooh.
It's like this.
Oh, you hate to see it.
I would like to reaction.
Apologies.
Just, I'm not going to move, but she is going to go invisible again.
Sweet.
Is there a way to move behind the creature?
I don't think there's a reaction. Oh, actually, this isn't your reaction. Does it let you teleport? Is that a part of the?
It's
move?
part of her one of her it's her staff. She has a Heldritch staff.
Oh yeah, if you're using the Heldritch staff to like teleport behind the creature, then yeah, absolutely you can do that.
Anytime I take damage, I can use it. I have like 10 uses, so I'm going ham with
Oh
it.
yeah. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, you can absolutely bamf behind this creature.
Okay.
And
And as she does it, like Tiwa, you're gonna feel this on your shoulder, so you know that she's moved. She
Copy.
gives you a little.
great. You still jump though instinctively. You can't
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary every time. And then I do a little hop.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
I get nervous and then I do a little
And then you
hop.
do a
and
little
be like,
hop.
splashes. I yell splashes. Splashes.
No, not splashes.
I finally tap.
Is
So I'm going to send 3 attacks downrange. The first one's a 25,
hits.
which is going to be a crit for the record.
Let's go.
The second one's a 23.
Misses.
Ooh.
And the third one is going to be...
For those of you following at home, it seems like the armor class is 24.
nowhere near enough.
Whoa,
However,
I just realized 24.
The number 24!
So
Remember,
perfect.
I'm gonna say you see it's like I swing twice and don't quite get it,
Mhm.
and then I just sort of hesitate for a second, and you see this almost like stutter step, like he kind of shifts out of reality, and my sword erupts into flames, purple flames, even though it was a green flame blade, and I'm going to use my crit, so I am going to attack, sneak attack, smite, in green flame blade.
Oh,
Delightful.
I am so excited for what's about to happen.
This was built for.
Truly, I
Dice,
am
there's
so
like
excited.
47
Let's go.
dice.
Here we
Number
go.
of dice.
While those dice roll
Yeah.
forever, I'm just gonna say purple. No, it wasn't purple rain. It was purple
Flame.
flame. That was it.
Flame.
I forgot the joke as I started to make it.
It's
Hey,
only,
everyone.
only 75 points of damage.
Only
You've
No.
been breaking things the opposite.
5
Yeah.
points of damage.
Yep.
Yuck. I knew it would be fun giving you an auto crit. Okay, I'm going to say as all of this kind of magic coalesces in this like one strike, you hit so true into like the center of this creature's forehead.
Yes.
There is a flash of like white hot light as you see now standing before you reverted to its human form. The Grootslanger as like this like older kind of looking person with the bald head there is kind of like reeling back. Like you can see it's sort of struggling to maintain the power. The ring on the finger is now like almost like vibrating, and you get the sense that like the ring is the only thing keeping this thing together.
Yeah.
Right? But with that, it's like such an explosion of so much energy, the platform underneath you falls away and you begin plummeting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that knocks these creatures out because they are no way strong enough to survive. They're gonna be falling and just being fally guys. So
Are like all the people of Wakandell falling with us, or just
no,
us
just
fighting
it's
us
just
falling?
your platform.
us.
Yeah, it's just your
Yeah, we're
platform.
going full dead fantasy. Let's do it.
Yeah. So we are now falling through the air, and it is going to make because now the whole stat block changes, and we have some new fun things for me.
Oh no.
I don't like your fun.
I like my fun.
Makes me
As
feel
you begin
itchy.
to fall, you see this this person brings their hand up. You see the ring begins to quiver. It looks at you and goes, "You had the right idea." All three of you, I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage because you're falling through the air.
Fair.
What is it doing?
It is casting a spell.
I'm gonna cast a counter spell.
Okay, I'm going to need you.
Yes.
I am gonna need you to roll me. What is it again? It's
It's the DC is the 10 plus the level of the spell.
10 plus the level of the spell. Okay. I'm gonna need you to roll a. This is a DC 15.
Okay, let's see.
Fingers crossed. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I got 16.
Woo!
Oh my gosh.
I just,
Forget
like,
it.
Incredible.
As the magic comes, I just hold my hand out and like pull it into my hand. Don't say anything. 'cause we're falling
Absolutely.
here.
Amazing.
I'm gonna say but like you see fire start to erupt right next to you, and it's almost like you like you really struggle, but you almost like put a hand over it and just quell the fire like back in, and then like a tiny you're rushing through the air, so this doesn't make any sense, but don't at me. Like a little bit of smoke just goes like
Yeah.
this, like
That's
out of the top.
Get
I
out
will
of the
just
comments.
Say, as this is happening, and I'm looking at him, I just say, "I'll remember this face." He's like,
Yeah.
Incredible. However, they have a lot of things that they can do, and I'm going to wait to use that.
How dare you?
Oh yeah, that's not gonna be fun. Okay, cool. It is back to the top of the round. Sha'So, you are falling through the air. I will say, effectively, what we're going to say here is that, like, you can use your movement speed to, like, make yourself more aerodynamic if you want to, like, fall faster. And I'll let you kind of move at half speed, like, in a direction,
I
if
love
that makes
this.
sense.
So all of us are falling. Where are we falling toward? We don't know.
This is an
Down.
endless...
Just down, we're
This
just falling
is like
down.
literally an endless pit. There is
Right.
nothing beneath you.
This is ridiculous, she says under her breath. As she looks over at the falling snake, she says, "You are disgusting disgusting in an accent
It's a guy.
that does not sound anything like she's ever said because it's her ancestor speaking through her.
Yeah.
And she's going to look right at her quarry. And her fingers are going to ignite. And toward him, like all these little like sort of fingernails are just going to fly at him. She's marking him, the hunter's mark.
Amazing.
Yes.
So automatically it takes 1d6 something something, blah, blah, blah. And at the same time, from her hands, she's going to hit him with, she's like, bringing forth all the power of my ancestors. Come to me. And as she looks at him, she's going to throw Agonizer Scorcher at
We love it.
level 4.
Do it. Is there a save with this or
Dex 15.
Dex 15? Okay, what do we get? 2 Dex. Okay, we get +7.
What?
Yo!
We're supposed to be cheering for us, Jasper.
Likes black people.
But I want to have fun. All of
This
my
is fun,
toys
Dragon
are
Man.
being rubbish.
We're not okay. Look, metagaming Aabria will appear everywhere. I'm like, we know you have legendary resistances.
Saw
What
you.
you got?
Show me what you.
All right, so that is. Let me see. Where's my D8? Hold on. Let me find. I can't move in my necklace. I'm like.
Oh God. Oh no.
Okay, wait. Let me roll this somewhere I can see it. Hold on. Oh, good one. Okay, so that is automatically 7 plus 3 plus 19
20. No, yeah, 29.
plus 7 plus 2 plus 19 plus a mental affinity, storm aura plus 3. Okay. It's 33 points of damage.
Yeah, okay. We love to see it. Absolutely incredible. What does this like look like as it manifests? Like
Streaks of hot white fire. Because like I said, she's come into her own and she now embraced the fact that she is a fire mage.
Mhm.
A strong one.
I'm gonna say like each of the like as it streaks forward, like each fire like snake, like almost like line of fire at the head of it is like this bearded dragon head as they just like and they almost like bite into them as
Ooh,
they
I
dispel.
love that. They're all little like luck dragon faces.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, 100%. And then you hear like a ha 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 ha.
No!
As they
The most
hit-
From, like,
demoralizing
somewhere.
attack ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, we love it. Tiwa.
Tiwa, who started falling in melee range. I will use whatever amount of movement I can. I just want to get to him. And it's not an attack, but she puts her hand over his hand with that ring. And in a soft voice that can only be heard by him over the sound of like rushing air around us, she sees her friends spinning up these big brutal attacks. We have done this before, but never with this strength. And she'll just look at him and wait till he's really looking at her. And she'll say, remember. And I'm going to use command to just try if there's anything in him.
What is the
please.
save?
It's
on
a
this?
DC
Fail.
18 wisdom save.
Please let him fail. Please let him fail.
He's got ace up his sleeve. Though.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking the dice.
That is what was it? Wisdom?
Yeah.
That is a 28.
Yeah.
But that was pretty baller.
Sure.
What
That
do
was
you
awesome.
like? You say remember?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that like it penetrates, like it goes in, but like the spell just cannot find purchase on anything.
Yeah.
Like whatever, like the essence of whatever this once was is gone completely. And
He's a monster.
yeah, 100%. Okay, is that
That's it for her. Like it doesn't matter. I want to use whatever I have left to just stay there with my hand over his hand. Like he committed us all to falling forever out of fury. And if that means that like he's destroyed, I want him to know one last bit of kindness before the end comes.
Yes. Heck yeah. Yes.
absolutely incredible? It is going, however, to use one of its legendary actions.
Yep.
So I'm going to need wisdom saving throws from all of you.
Ah.
I will let you use the aura.
Joke's
sweet,
on
thank
you. I
you.
have
Everyone.
advantage.
Is this a spell?
This is not a spell, no.
Okay, cool. Just check in.
This is like an ability.
Just double check in.
Cool. Don't forget you have a +5 from me.
Oh, goody! Yep,
That is
21.
23.
I had
28.
advantage. 21.
You pass. You succeed. You both fail. As the DC was 26.
What? But he's a bad boy.
Yikes.
Save is bad.
Okay, so as this creature is falling, you hold on to the hand. You feel it kind of almost goes from like white hot because it's like it kind of hurts to touch this. To like you feel the heat almost get like drawn away to the point where it almost feels like the hand becomes cold, and underneath you can see that the hand is starting to like rot and decay as it's putting like as much effort as it can into this attack, and its eyes just light up with fire, and like full Dragon Ball Z style, just a beam of fire crashes out towards all of you. If you passed, let me just double check to see if this is save or nothing, or if it's save and no, you take nothing. You take nothing. I'll say that like you're close enough. You sort of see this coming. You move out of the way, but like you guys both are like looking. You can't see its eyes, and as soon as Tiwa moves out of the way, you suddenly just see fire. Like, yeah, literally. You both take 54 points of fire damage.
Oh, good. I get half of it because I'm resistant.
Oh,
She starts dancing like a TikTok dance.
Okay.
I love that you're doing a TikTok dance.
Yeah, she's like doing this.
Renegade.
Yeah, I do not look good at all. Like very grievously wounded, but like face just stays resolute. On
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Incredible. It is now your turn.
The way. Might I be allowed to do something for flavor?
Absolutely.
Isn't burned and you see like clearly, like grievously injured.
Mm-mm.
My face starts rotating through the faces of those mages that I saw him kill.
Well, okay.
Just switching to different people that he's fought in the past. And I would like to use my ranged legerdemain. My mage hand is invisible to steal the ring off his finger.
Yes.
While I'm rotating through these things.
Okay, I'm gonna say
and then
here.
eventually turn back to myself.
Can you give me a strength save?
Yeah.
You're gonna get advantage, but if you pass this strength save, I'm gonna give you a +5 to your roll.
Okay.
As you're like holding on to this hand.
Nice.
Perfect.
In fact, I'll make it like
Nice.
contested. Let's make
Okay.
this fun.
Nice.
So what did you get?
So I put my +5
Mhm.
into strength, which makes my strength save a 27.
Okay.
Woo, woo.
Plus 20?
So
Oh boy.
apparently I suck, everyone. Just so
Oh,
you know, like
no!
this
Poetic.
these dice don't like. It's fine. You hold the hand still as you can feel them like trying to pull away, but you hold it still and like they can't even clasp their hand because you've got their fingers basically. So you get a +5 to this roll.
39.
What?
It was like
30.
beautiful.
Wild.
Okay.
I do have another thing I'm going to do. If you, well,
No,
I'm
you
going to do something, but I don't know. If
give me that and then I will. Yeah, let's go.
You see, as I'm rotating through these faces, and I see them look, I just open my hand and I have the ring, and I say, "You should have listened." And then I hit him with my bonus attack, which was a 26
To hit.
to hit.
Yep. I'll hit.
And I'm gonna cash in my crit there, like ring, and then no green flame blade this time.
I
just
love that though.
sneak attack and smite and violence.
Oh,
for
forget it.
54 points of damage. Just
Let's go.
Goodness gracious. Okay, so let's set this up. We have you currently holding on as this, like you're furiously like kind of like pulling backwards and forwards as you're both plummeting. Both of you like facing up towards. You can see the people of Wakanda kind of looking down, getting further and further away from you as you're plummeting. This huge eruption of fire has just hit your friends. As you are taking, it's like every ounce of your strength to try and hold on. You is at this point that you kind of like streamline yourself, like career towards this thing, your face like shuffling through all of these different visages, and it's like, and you can see the eyes growing wide with confusion as this, I think almost like without even realizing, the ring kind of just floats off of the finger as you crash into this thing. There is silence as the three of you find yourselves now floating back in that liminal space. And you see before you there is a collection, floating around you, there is a collection of ancestors. You immediately pick out the three faces that you saw previously. Mm-hmm. And there is a sense of like warmth and happiness within them that they're extending out towards you three. And this fourth person, this small child, who kind of sits with you for a second, and then you get a similar sense of like a choice. You're being offered a choice. Mm-hmm. And the choice is whether this is the end of your story, whether you will willingly fall and give yourself in service of what you have done, or whether you still think there is something that you need to do in Wakandell. It is a choice. It is a warm choice. It is, not instead of you falling. Instead of falling, you will be embraced by your ancestors. You'll be given the kind of gift. You will be able to move on, or you will be returned home. So each of you have this choice to make. It doesn't hesitate.
Is the ring? Do I have the ring?
I think the changeling ancestor, who you saw earlier, like walks over to you and just like takes the ring out of your hand and just goes like,
Good call.
Not you, Iṣẹ, not you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not so much.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I look at him for a second, like I'm almost not gonna let him have it. But I do open my hand, and when I let them take the ring, and I just say, "Peace, eternal rest. These are things I grant others. I do not accept myself. Send me back."
You disappear. Sha'So?
So this is the choices to go back home to Nazar, or to continue on.
To pass through at the end, like choose this to be the end of your journey within Wakandell.
Her ancestor, first when it all sort of blows apart, she looks at her hand and that purple tattoo is glimmering. And she looks up and her great-great-great-grandmother is standing before her. And in her great-great-grandmother's hands is this like, looks like a crown, but it's like a crown that has maybe the face of a little bearded dragon on it. But it's cute. And her ancestor is stepping toward her with this look of pride on her face. And she sort of nods, like as if she wants Sha'So to kneel down so she can put on her head. But then Sha'So shakes her head and says, "I still have more to do." And her ancestor brings her hands down, nods and smiles.
And Sha'So vanishes.
Tiwa looks from her ancestors, gives Abisola a respectful nod, and then looks at the child that is Grutzlange. What will become of them?
That depends. And you see all the ancestors speak with like a unified voice. That depends whether there is someone to guide them through this next part of their journey.
I have given myself to a life of service. And if you believe I am worthy, I would give them another chance. I know what it is like to be corrupted, to feel beyond hope. I would offer another way. And I want to go over and embrace the child and use cleansing touch just if there's any bad vibes, to kind of shake them off.
As you do this, you walk over and touch this. You're gonna embrace this child. The collective ancestors come forward, and you all. There is they all place hands and connect, and there is this like sort of web of shared experiences and memories that is passed around, and you feel yourself and the Grutslanger transcend into the next part of your journey, where you will live on as ancestors of Wakandell.
I love that.
And that is where we're going to go ahead. Oh yeah,
I
please.
just had a
Yes.
very tiny epilogue.
Yes, please.
Okay,
I was going to
yeah.
probably
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Let's go for it. Let's go for the epilogue here.
Some point in the future, because it is not at all clear how long changelings live.
Mhm.
But time has passed. And Issei's pale face has lines worn into it, and the eyes are sunken in. And you see another small changeling in front of him, even smaller than he is. And you see he has his hand on his shoulder, and he says, "My child, I have taught you everything. There's only one gift I have left to impart on you. When you must help the people, when you must come into the light and inspire them, there is a face you must always wear." And I look like Tiwa. And I say,
Aww.
"Go for it."
You see a young Tiwa
Yeah.
now stands before you
That's so
Yep.
sweet.
and
Aw.
looks up and says, "I will go bravely, Papa."
And I give him the power.
Incredible.
Can I have a little button?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I want is for the next time Abene is in their office,
Mm.
I want that seed that I took to appear on the desk
Hell yeah.
with just a note that says you're remembered among the ancestors.
I think that what happens is that if I may make a slight
Yeah,
addendum,
please.
I think Abene, a few weeks afterwards, is walking past your your room, which no one has been in, no one has touched, and the door is open, just a crack. And at the very center of the floor, there is a crack, in the ground, and from it there is a small sprout, like the seed
That's
is
cool.
just growing from the ground.
That's super cool. That's better.
I have a moment.
Yes, please.
Issei is at home, relaxing. This is somewhere in the far future. The phone rings, whatever it is, whatever
Sending
form of,
stone.
Yeah, sending stone.
whatever
Yeah.
it is. The phone rings. Or
Let me put
picks
my
it
right
up.
face on.
Yeah.
It's Sha'So on the line. She says, "What was Katumbe saying about me? I remember you told me earlier. We were talking last month. I wanted to..."
I'm like, I just look at it for a second, and I just go, "Girl."
And that's the end of the episode. 100%. Absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. That was like beyond my wildest dreams. That was so incredible.
You're so good.
Thank you for sharing that story with me. Thank you all for sharing that story with me. Before we shoot off really, really quickly, this camera, please tell everyone, what are you doing?
Hi, I'm Aabria Iyengar. Follow me on social media at Quiddy, Quiddie, for all of my projects, most of which I can't talk about yet.
That NDA life.
Heck yeah. This camera,
This camera,
please.
this camera. I'm Alicia Marie. You can follow me on socials at Alicia Marie Body. I am a costume designer, costume maker in general, creative type person. If you follow me on socials, you can find out all the craziness I'm doing because I'm usually playing games or making things. So come forth, I don't bite right away.
Incredible.
Speech, not a bug. B. Dave Walters. I've been Iṣẹ Buburu, who I set out to make a fighter mage thief. He was an arcane trickster, blade singer, paladin, and I ended up being
Delightful.
a fighter mage thief cleric, and it worked. Follow me on the Tweetagrams at B. Dave Walters. Also, my masterclasses, 14-Day DM and 14-Day Player, are both live, linked at the top of the Tweetagrams. Take a look. Learn how we do what we do.
Go do it. This has been 3 Black Halflings. If you want to follow us on social medias, you can do. It's at the number 3 Black Halflings. So 3 Black Halflings.
There's 4 of us, so
Yeah, I guess.
Yay.
So we should
Awesome.
probably, bonus halfling. I'll be the bonus halfling.
Bonus halfling.
I'll be the bonus halfling in
Aw.
this one. Like,
We're the American franchise.
yes.
Oh, it's gonna be a spin-off,
Get
and
in
it
the
won't
comments.
be as good.
Get in the comments.
It
You
will
know
not
that's
be
what
as
you know.
good.
You want it. You can follow us at the number 3 Black Halflings. You can follow me at JW_Cartwright. And this has been absolutely
So
incredible. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you next week. So long, Shire folk. You can do a so long, Shire folk, if you want to, guys. Like, you...
So long, Shire folk.
Yeah.
Legally distinct. Yeah.
I love it.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
That was a Headgum podcast.